the Israelites are the blacks, the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans, the Mexicans, the Native Americans, and the Africans. Most of them, they're not included. They're not God's chosen people, and that's that. They're just not. But we want to focus so bad on them when they sold us out into slavery, and then they still don't really like us to this day. Because my dad, he just came back from Africa. He loved Africa. He want to be an Egyptian so bad, but it's like, brother, like, do you want to roll with God or do you want to just get destroyed with all your accomplishments as a lawyer, this, that? Like, if you're not gonna be an Israelite at the end of the day, you're not gonna make it out of America. You're not gonna make it.
Okay, let me pass the mic. Dizali, go ahead.
What's up, brother?
Good.
I want to say peace to everyone, and I'll start it off like this. Certain conversations are not for everyone, and I think that in the age of social media, a lot of people, missed that, forgot that. They don't know what their role are, basically. We're having a lot of these conversations with people who got C's and D's in school. They didn't go to school. They dropped out in the third grade. They know darn well they were not academic stalwarts. And they're trying to have these conversations with smart people. And they're going and listening to other dropouts who have made TikTok videos, and they're bringing that information back to us as if it's factual, and they think they are really doing something. I think people need to look up the word Dunning-Kruger. When people think they know more about subjects and topics than they actually do, it's okay to not know about everything, about certain things. Your strong suit might be something else. Leave the conversation about history, genetics, science to people who actually know, who actually care about it, who've actually done it. If you don't know about it, just be quiet and listen. Because we have people talking and they're actually harming our kids with this rhetoric that they have all over social media. They're harming our kids. They're actually aiming for the kids because they know that they can't tell any grown adult this BS that they are spreading. So they're aiming for the kids. They're aiming for the next generation. We need to have a final showdown where we tell these people, stay in your position. If you don't know about academics, if you don't know about history, about science, shut the fuck up and stop leading people astray. Now, I also wanted to touch upon some of the things that the brother prior to me was just talking about. I see, and this goes with the pretending thing also, I see a lot of coping mechanisms, things that, we don't have anything else. We don't have any other way. So we had better hope that we are Israelites, because then we have our father fight for us. That's basically what it is, a coping mechanism. We don't have any army. We're not scientifically literate. So hopefully our sky daddy is going to fight for us and win this war for us. That's a coping mechanism, people. And that's why we are where we are now. We love to flock to coping mechanism, half-truths, non-truths, no evidence-based stuff, just sky daddy stuff. And we can see where it actually gets us. It gets us at the bottom of the pyramid. When we ask, how come they don't have a Michael Jordan or a Beyonce in Africa? Because they don't have the media that we have here. Because they focus on other things. We had to create and excel at those things here in this white country. That's what we had to darn do. They don't have a white country. They have an all black country. They deal with black people. They have other things that they have to worry about there. So They didn't have to create a Michael Jackson or a Beyonce, but though I'm pretty sure that they have artists that's probably bigger than Beyonce. Maybe not Michael Jackson because he was worldwide, but they have their own artists. It is really quite irritating to hear people ask such mundane things like, how come they don't have this? How come they don't have that? Because they don't have an organized country that has put thousands of satellites up in the in into space. They don't have the media that we have. They don't have white investors investing billions of dollars to have their image plastered across the world. This is very juvenile things if you even use half a brain. That's why I say certain conversations are not for certain people. If you don't understand, if you don't know, keep your mouth shut and listen. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth. And you have the world looking and listening at y'all dumb asses making us look like clowns out here.
Does calling
Shut
ourselves
the
slaves
fuck
make
up.
us look clownish?
Acknowledging accurate history makes us look honest, intelligent.
Right, I understand that.
Children, hold on. Children make up fantasies because they can't face the truth. A grown man, a grown woman, even if you don't like it, you're gonna face it. You don't create something out of thin air, looking like a fool, looking like you hate yourself. Got us looking like clowns out here.
Yeah, hold on. I love
land.
my brother, and here's the thing about my brother. First of all, I had the highest reading level in my class as a youth. I went to HBCU. My uncle is Robert F. Smith. My dad is a black attorney, right? So I didn't get mad because I know he's not talking about me. I know he's not talking about me. Like with the Roman conquest of 70 AD, that's actual history, right? And this is what God was trying to say about our people is we're very stiff-necked and hard-headed, and we are very emotional. And me, I'm so past that. Like, it doesn't matter about what the white tea people taught you in school and all this. You just don't understand who you are. You don't know about the Roman conquest in 70 AD. You don't know that that book is not a fairy tale book. It's the best-selling book of all
Hey,
time.
let me
And it's the only
let
book.
me
Hold on,
let me
hold on,
ask
hold
you.
on, hold on, hold on.
No, I'm the host.
Yeah,
I'm the host.
go ahead.
I'm the host.
Go ahead.
Do you believe in Noah's Ark?
There's scientists who found pieces of Noah's Ark. Period.
Where?
I guess that's yes.
You can Google these things. You can. It's a. But I don't want
Come
you
on,
guys to
guys, pass the
believe in
mic, man.
fairy tales. No, you can Google this stuff. You can Google the Roman conquest of 70 AD.
No, but I'm asking,
Do you
believe in Noah's Ark?
You can Google scientists who found ancient artifacts.
Just answer the question.
Do I believe? I'm not really a believer. I'm more of a knower that you guys don't have the answers. He said a lot of things.
Sir. Is Noah's Ark a true story? Yes or no?
Is Noah's Ark a true story? Okay, I have 2 phones. I can Google if scientists have found ancient artifacts.
Yes,
Just answer the question.
I gotta pass the mic. Go ahead, Nigel.
Yeah, thanks, man. Dinah, thanks for having me. I think the previous speaker spoke quite well. I think he covered most of the grounds, really. And watching that video of the other black guy telling the other guy that he looks like Indian is crazy, man. Somebody that looks like a black African, you're calling him Indian. It's just comical, really. And sometimes I begin to wonder what is the purpose of these people? That why do they believe these things that they do? Because there is no real evidence of what they are saying. There's no genetic evidence. There's no historical evidence. There's just nothing. And it just tells you that human beings are relatively easy to convince of an idea, even if maybe the people that started this kind of message don't have any, they have nefarious motives for doing it in the first place. It's really strange that anybody could believe such a thing because there is no genetic proof. If you go and check your DNA, you find that you are very similar to those of West Africans and maybe some Europeans. And you look at the location of Egypt and the location of the Israel as we know it today. It's always been that way because there is record going way back. The Romans literally invaded this place, and the Romans keep records like crazy. I don't understand. There are wars. The Kushite kingdom fought the Romans to a standstill while the Romans conquered Egypt. This is not. They are not high. They are not trying to kind of play a fast one against the black Israelites. Like black Israelites was some kind of superpower that they really needed to defeat or deceive so that they don't come back and defeat the world powers. Where did they get? What kind of delusional thinking is that? These people, they literally testify to the fact that they enslaved people, they destroyed continents, but they will hide the truth from these Israelites for some reason. I don't know how you can believe that kind of stuff, because in other words, you are saying that Europeans are willing to admit to mass murder than they would rather admit to actually these Israelites are actually real. It's just ridiculous stuff. But this is what human beings do, and we always look for succor somewhere, and we're not going to come out openly and say we are wrong. I actually believe that those people that we are actually convinced by maybe charismatic leaders or just because they were vulnerable, they will realize sooner or later that what they are doing is wrong. But the people that put this stuff in their mind and that didn't care about the truth, because anybody that is intelligent enough will know this is false. There's no evidence to it. There's really no evidence to it. All the people that talk as if they're intellectuals in this area, they will argue against science. They will argue against historical evidence. They will argue against no matter even cultural evidence. They will argue against it all. Even if they see that the people in the Americas practice a lot of culture that comes from Africa, they will still pretend as if it doesn't exist. So what do? You just leave them, let them do their own thing, and the people that are actually carrying the truth and the light, those ones should go on their own merry way and do the right thing by their people and try to educate people as much as they can. So there is not much one can do. That's all I can say. Thank you.
I just want to ask a question because it sounds like the brothers from Arkansas, from Africa, from the continent, maybe Nigeria. I'm not sure, but let me ask: when you say evidence and what we believe, there are a lot of things that, for instance, like a lot of Nigerians, I've never met a Nigerian that knows that computer science comes from the 256 Odu, whatever that stuff is from Ife. I've met an old woman who knew that, but most Nigerians don't know that. And the reason I bring that up is in fact, there have been some that said, oh, you're crazy. There's no way the white man came up with that. And I'm saying, no, this is like literally from your Yoruba. Okay, yeah, this is from Ife. And so I bring that up to say
it's just a binary yes or no.
Ife, right. So again, I just bring that up just to kind of highlight, like, a lot of us don't know a lot about, even Africans don't. So it's not just a Black American thing. Oh, we don't know who we are, this, that, and the other. I'm not going to get up here and argue, anything like that. But we've all been victims of broken lines of ancestral knowledge.
Actually, that is inaccurate. Africans always knew. The Yorubas knew what they were doing. They didn't call it.
I'm talking about my personal experience.
They didn't call it binary method. That's all.
Okay, guys, it was my turn to talk. I don't know if Adonis is on the show.
I'm here.
We're keen to hear from you. Please continue.
I'm here. Go ahead, Elvis.
All right, thank you, guys. Thank you, Adonis, and hello to you, all of you on the panel in the chat. Look, Adonis, I'm baffled, right? Because why would you want to be a people who are in a lower socio-economic, political, level than you are? The Native Americans are defeated. They got their land taken from them. At least you were stolen from Africa. They had their land taken from them and put, and set aside like leftover, food. And they are going through hell on those reservations. Their upward social mobility is very low. Their alcoholism and drug use is very high. They are living in just terrible conditions. So why would you stoop yourself?
Nobody wants to be that, though. We're telling you those people are, yeah, you're right. They are beneath us. But those people, nobody see. I understand what you're saying because there are some people who think that the pretendian, the Black Aboriginal conversation is about us or people or Black Americans who go along those lines, thinking they want to be some type of plains Indian riding a horse, you know, like Squanto or something. And that's not at all the case. Those people have only been here 1,000 years. That's what the science says. Since we're talking about science, the Athabascan migration, the largest, the people you're talking about who are drunks and crackheads on the reservations out west, those people have only been here tops 1,500 years, and they even talk about it
That's
in their
not what the
own.
science say.
The science, the
Right.
Athabascan, look it up. The
I gave you a
Athabascan
chance
migration.
to say something profound, but
Yeah,
let
I
me
just want to
reclaim my
say it.
time, brother.
Yeah, I won't get into
So
your time, but Athabascan migration, look it up. Those are the
yeah,
majority of the Indians y'all are talking about, and nobody wants to be like them.
right. So for me, it would be almost impossible. Nothing is impossible to hide that those people are imposters and the real owner of the land, because I'm guessing this is about land ownership. That the real owner of the land is the black man. And as early as 1860, black people were enslaved in this country. There's records to show that.
Some of us, yeah, and the Indians, and
Right.
some of the
I mean,
Indians
hold
were.
on, brother. It's not a conversation, right? I got a little time to give my take on the whole situation. Let's not interrupt me
Go
too
ahead, brother.
often. So the point here is, why did the white man do a bait and switch? Why did he take the original people of the land and enslave them, and people who came way after, like you said, 1,500 years ago, and made a treaty with them and put them on reservation and give them certain rights to own casinos and all of those different things? Even in that instance, the black people are still doing better than the people on the reservation. And what it really boils down to is conquer, a conquest. The white men conquered this land, whether it was the original the Native American Indians that owned it or the black who were the original owners. You lost your land. They conquer you. And like that song said, you got to get it back in blood. The white man is not going to concede and say, well, I realize that this land is your land. So we're going to give it back to you. We're going to give you a certain amount of, American dollars to, compensate you for taking your land for all these, hundreds of years. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. We saw what happened at the United Nations for reparations. America said, hell no. Number one, we're not paying reparations. So for slavery, which is a acknowledged sin of America, they're not paying reparations, let alone when they manifested their destiny and took lands from the original people that held the land. So for me, I just feel like it's a silly thing, like the other brother was saying. It makes you look bad because really in your current state, you're doing well, regardless of the history of slavery. You're doing a lot better than many groups on this planet. Socially, you might be, you know, in a bad position because of racism and systematic, oppression. But really, you are people that has been elevated through your culture, your music, your education systems, all the other great things that African American has. But I guess you just don't want to be tied to Africa because there's a lot of stigma that comes with it, or you don't want to be tied to slavery because there's a deep, heretical embarrassment that comes with it. I understand those things, but being tied to Native Americans, it's not a flex. It's actually a downgrade. But I pass the mic, Dennis.
But that's the thing, and I'm glad you brought that up, brother. And I appreciate you bringing that up because I think that that's the fundamental misunderstanding many people have is that some black people like who are saying, "Hey, we're the original people of the land," right? They think that that means we want to be some drunk ass mongoloids out in Arizona or the Chumash in California. Nobody wants that. Those people, and it goes back to the understanding history. The people that you're talking about now, they didn't get conquered right when the Europeans got here. They didn't get conquered until Manifest Destiny popped off and the Europeans started moving out west. So that's why they had a different type of relationship with them. Whereas our ancestors, some of our ancestors did come from Africa. Some of them did. I'm not going to sit up here and say that they didn't, but the overwhelming majority of Black American ancestors, I don't believe that they did. I don't think a lot of the Black people in the Americas have overly substantial African ancestry. I don't think that means that the slave trade didn't happen. But we know that. You want to know why we didn't get reparations? The argument is that we weren't the only ones enslaved. Our problem here as Black people in the Americas it was never slavery. You want to know what it was? It was the fact that we were basically denationalized, whether we were taken from Africa, from those the polities in West Africa, whether they were Islamic or the Yoruba or the Igbo or whoever, and our indigenous ancestors here. That's what our problem is that we don't have a recourse geopolitically. Look at the Africans. The Africans, they have countries, but what are those countries good for when the revolution is popping off in the Sahel and the rest of ECOWAS is fighting against them? So, like when you're talking about geopolitics, you have to kind of look at things wholesale and then come down to the minute. Nobody wants to be some type of long-haired, drunk, no rhythm having powwow Indian. Nobody wants that. And I think that people, because like they're saying, oh, this nigga right here, excuse my French, but you know, this nigga right here wants to be an Aboriginal, so he must hate Africa.
Hey, Donnie, he got used N-war on this show.
Okay,
Yeah, isn't that
you're right.
Well,
Well,
isn't that
my name is Akata.
It's a context.
Okay, my bad. My
Stop
screen name
making
is
excuses
Akata.
for him,
But bro, we gotta pass the mic, brother. I know you're trying to rebut the points.
Like, goddamn, let me just
No,
finish.
you think I go
order.
N-war 3 times.
We're going in order, brother. You gotta let the host pass you the mic.
I won't say the N-word, brother. I won't say the N-word again.
No, it's someone else's turn to talk.
Right, Dinus, where are you, Dinus? You gotta regulate the show, man.
I'm looking at the dude above me.
Dinus is asleep.
He's going to sleep.
Everybody usually get a first take, and then you kind of go around.
First take. That's what I'm saying.
But it's not your turn. You gotta wait for the host to give you your turn.
No, I'm back, guys. I'll be honest. I'm like packing and because I'll leave tomorrow. So Elvis, still your turn. El Akata Uno, number one Akata.
The guy getting used N-war 3 times, Donnie.
No, it was in context, Dinus, but you can pass the mic to him officially.
Say it, my bad.
It's a Black American thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I don't really support the N word, but El Kata Uno, go ahead.
Okay, well, yeah, my bad, brother. But see what I mean? Like,
but I'll say this. So there is an N-word tariff. So if you use the N-word, it better be in context. If not,
it was
it's a $10 fine. Okay.
It was, and the brother just let you know that it was in context. I was
all right. So you got a minute. All go ahead.
Okay, good deal. So when you're saying, oh, this black man is saying he's an Aboriginal, okay, he must hate Africa, and then y'all get to jumping like y'all just did. And you know what's so crazy is that this is nothing new. And I think a lot of people don't understand that the connection that Black America has with what you call Native America is deep. It's very deep. Whether we all came from Africa, where it was millions and millions of people brought from Africa and then mixed in with them, our relationship is deep. My earliest known ancestor was definitely an Indian. Like, not, I'm saying on record. So it's like, I mean,
it's really not that deep. But go ahead.
It is very deep because you're from California, so I don't know where your roots are. But
my roots from Mississippi.
Okay, good deal. Mine
Texas,
too. Mine right
Virginia.
There,
it's not.
So you understand. Well, you might not believe that, but it definitely is. Okay, so and we could agree to disagree on that. But what I'll land my plane by saying this: most of the Black people you talking that, not the young ones, not the TikTok folks, but the people who have been on this, let's just say 10, 15, 20 years, who came and heard this stuff from our parents or our grandparents, most of us came into knowledge of self through Africa anyway. I come up to Africans. I live in Dallas. I'm always at Aso Rock with the Nigerians. They tell, brother, you need to go to Nigeria. You know more about Nigeria than I do. And it's not because I just study it. It's because most Black people come into our knowledge of self through Africa. And as we continue to learn and view things and not become pigeonholed in a dogma, then we start to
wait, you come to knowledge of self by going to Africa and learning you're not really African, that you're a Native American. Is that what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying is that we know that it's not only Africa. We know that it's not only Africa. It doesn't make sense. It couldn't only be Africa. You want to know why? If that's the case, that means that the Africans were so weak that you can't say that, because that's not the case in medieval Africa all the way up into the epoch of colonization, you're not talking about no weak ass Africans in grass skirts. The west coast of Africa was full of war. It was people, there were some that were kept caught in prison of war situations and traded to the Europeans or whatever, but there was no wholesale white folks coming in. And that's what I'm trying to get you to, like, I guess not me, but people in general, to get everybody to understand it is grossly overstated, unless you're saying that the white folks were so powerful that they were able to whoop on all of these kingdoms. West
Yeah, they
African
had the
kingdoms.
Gatling guns, they had cannons,
See, but
they had
that wasn't.
rifles, they had superior weaponry. Not that they were superior inherently, but they had weapons that were superior than what we had in Africa.
But what I can tell you is this: at the Battle of Tondibi in 1591, that was the Trojan horse, and the Moroccans and the Southern, like, we had guns too. They were trading back and forth. There were people who had guns. That's why those the people who were in that West Africa who were trying to enslave their own people just for economic gain, they had guns too, because they had been trading with, like, it's just too cut and dry. I think that's what the problem is that we're saying, 12.5 whatever million Africans taken 10
Sometimes
land.
truth is stranger than fiction, bro. You don't gotta look
Who's
too far to
next
find
to
the
Right.
talk?
truth.
Truth is stranger
Whose
than fiction.
turn
So
is
why?
it? Who's next?
My thing is,
Hold
on. It's Alakanta, you got 30 seconds, then it's CD.
I'm just trying to understand, what are we talking about Africa for when our brothers and sisters in Africa are now we're saying on the ground may be different, but it can't nobody's get right over there. The Sahel is the Francophone West Africans, who I've always said were the worst 20 years ago, but they the ones where the revolution popped up. So why is ECOWAS fighting them? Ain't no white folks there. It's billions of black folks on one continent. And the reason everybody is fighting and bumping heads is because, number one, not all Africans on the continent are of the same. They don't even see themselves the same. The Fulani, who are the true Africans, like, they not gonna say the same thing about the brothers in the Sahel.
What's a true African?
You want a true African? You want to know? This is what I mean. A true African is a group. It's not only the Fulani, but a true African, in my definition, is a group that is not confined to borders. There are not many ethnic groups in Africa who are cross-border. There are some, like in West Africa, because it's so chopped
Do
up.
you understand? Do you understand the
Yoruba and
problem?
Benin,
Do you
I know all about
understand?
that.
You understand the problems that's causing?
No, I know I understand. That's what I'm saying. That has been the biggest problem on the continent is the understanding that the Fulani, who they don't respect the colonial borders, all the other Africans basically do. And that's what causes a lot of the problems. So, I mean, and even then, let me ask you guys this, and y'all can tell me, because it sounds like some Africans, and Dinas, you've been there. Why is it that some Africans say that their ancestors come from, like, somewhere else? You know what I'm saying? And it's that Black Americans didn't start that.
You got to be specific when you say
okay.
somewhere.
So the Islamic polities of West Africa all claim descent from a Black Yemeni Jew. The Yoruba say that they came from somewhere else.
No, the Yoruba say they descend from Oduduwa and Ile-Ife.
But so where did are these white? Did they just take on popularized white histories about
That's,
coming from the
that's
Middle East
exactly
and all
what
of that?
FBA do.
No, I'm
No,
asking.
a lot of Africans
Giannis,
was
can he
pushed
pass the
further
mic?
south
Yeah,
by
pass the mic.
That's
wars,
called
or they were
mythology.
part of
That's called mythology,
a
brother.
kingdom, that got conquered, and they went further south. So, like the Mali Empire, when they got conquered, a lot of the Malians came down, further south in West Africa. A lot of people from Sudan, when they got conquered by the Arabs, a lot of them came down further south. So when people are saying they come from a different areas because they had the kingdoms.
But I mean specifically, they talk. I've seen videos. I've heard people I've asked Yoruba right here.
Who's next?
Yeah, who's next?
Yeah, let me pass the mic to CD. Go ahead, CD.
Hey, Donis, everybody. So, we have to be mindful when we talking about, group in general, because we have to distinguish the FBA from the African Americans. We can't group all of them together. If you have to be very specific when you're talking about FBAs,
FBA are a hate cult.
and it's very, very sad that we live in a global world. When I say global world, there are people in Africa, in certain part of Europe, they actually listen to the show, and it's very sad that people come and talk things that sound very dumb, and they will look down upon certain group of people, right? They will doubt because a lot of people outside have great, respect for African Americans, but again, it's very important for us to be specific, because things that FBA said, I'm yet to find any kind of intelligent intellectual FBAs. They just go with the flow. They pick up words from people and just run with it. And it's very sad. Like someone like he always come here This is guy that stay in school, but he talk about, oh, Black American be Liberia, so you guys wanted this. So he had no idea how these people got over there. So it's very, very sad, right? If you claim that you FBA, you have no African identity. You don't have to fight for African things. You don't have to fight for Wakanda. If they hire a Black British actor from Britain and be part of this movie, the movie is Wakanda. It's pure African identity, right?
Yes.
If you want to relate to a movie, relate to Big Mama, like Terry Perry type of movie, the old lady that beat on everybody, smoke weed. Yeah, that's classic FBA movie, right? You can relate to that, right? But if
Man,
you
CD,
talk
you be
about
out of
Wakanda,
pocket. You be talking crazy, man. Come on.
if you talk about Wakanda, but that's the reality, that's the fact, right? If I go to watch Big Mama, I will fall asleep. But if group of FBA goes together and watch the movie, they can relate to it, right? If Nigerians go and watch Nigerian movie, they can relate to Nigerian movie, right?
That's
So
a bit of a
so
stereotype.
whatever is in the movie is the identity of a group of people, but you cannot fight for Wakanda when it's more representative of African culture, right? It makes no sense,
Good
right?
point.
So and that's the reality. So people, if you think that you're not from Africa, don't identify anything with Africa. Just go with, because that's why Terry Perry became popular, right? They identified and said, "This is an old lady that run everybody with what we call and smoke weed and beat on everybody that she made in the ghetto," right? So, that's a big movie, right? So, and it's sad that when we're talking here, people in Africa listen to this show and they can get disappointed in certain things that some of these people say, right? And that's someone they claiming that they're from Egypt. If you ask them which language you speak Egypt, some of them even don't even know, right? So it's very, very sad that we find ourselves in this type of situation. People create all kind of identity from very productive Black people
CD,
that
CD,
everybody
CD.
admire.
Somebody said Wakanda is in America, fool. So
It,
that is what did our
it,
brother M said Wakanda
it,
was again in Wisconsin?
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's Wakanda when you see even if whether it's in America or not. I'm not trying
But
to
it's
say
clearly not
it's
in
America,
America.
but
That's the funny thing. It's not in America. So
but,
people
but
believe
let's
it's in
say it's from
America.
America, right? But that's what I'm trying to distinguish African American and FBA, right? This is a pure African identity. Everything is about it's an African culture. So
Black
don't
Amer-
fight for it. Go and fight for B Mama, where she will be smoking weed and beat on everybody that he
Oh
see.
man, come on, CD. Stop it, man. Damn.
Black
That's the
Americans
fact.
can't
That's the
act
reality. I
the
mean,
same
if
way black
sometimes I
people
can be
do.
very harsh,
Medea is a caricature. She's not, a representation of real
but
African American grandmothers.
I mean, first of all, when I went to watch the movie the first time, there was no white person in our movie theater, and everybody was laughing to death. And people that were there, the FBAs that were there, they could identify themselves with the movie. If I go to Nigerian movie, I can relate a little bit of it, but a certain part of it, nah, it's not. I can't relate to it, right? So it's almost like a Hollywood movie. Whatever you see in a Hollywood movie is that what you see in America, violent culture. I'm not looking down upon Terry Perry type of movie. It's any movie that you see is the identity of that particular culture, you know.
Menace
But
to society.
All right, Dennis, you got to
yeah,
come in and
but
pass
I
the
learned
mic,
from that.
Yeah,
Dennis.
yeah, yeah. Let me pass the mic. Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
Thank you. Can you hear me well, Dynast?
Loud and
Is it
clear.
good?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Brilliant. Hopefully, I will be short and sweet. I came on because I heard a Black American say that Africa was named after a white man called Scipio Africanus. So I've come here to pass historical knowledge. What that Black American said was wrong. It was historically inaccurate. The man he's talking about was a Roman who was named Publius Cornelius Scipio. I repeat, his name is Publius Cornelius Scipio. He worked his way up to become a Roman commander. He was then sent to North Africa to fight against Hannibal. He defeated Hannibal at the Battle of Zama in 202 BC. because of his victory against Hannibal in Africa, the Romans then gave him the name Africanus because that was what they referred to Africa as. So because of his victory in Africa, he was then called Scipio Africanus. So he was named after the continent, the Latin word. That's it. And I had to mention it because too many Black Americans keep going around saying that Africa was named after a white man. And I've spent too much time coming online to correct them. I don't know where they're getting that from. It doesn't say that in the history book. And the other thing I wanted to say was when he said that, oh yeah, it said that in the book of Revelations, chapter 1, verse 14, that Jesus' hair was like wool. It actually says his head and his hair was white like wool. It doesn't say that the texture of the hair was like wool. It's talking about the color. It says his head and his hair was white like wool.
It was talking about his glory.
Yes. So it has nothing to do with him having nappy hair. Okay. So I just wanted to clear those two things up. But yes, Africa was not named after a white man. The white man was given the name Africanus because of his victory against Hannibal. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay. Where does the name of Africa come from?
Well said. I got to go ahead, Charles.
The name of. Oh, sorry. Can I just quickly answer?
Go ahead.
Niger.
Go ahead.
There are the name Africa. There are a number of historians who say various things. One of the most common things I've heard is that in the north of Africa, in Tunisia, there was a tribe or a kingdom called Ifriqiya, and it was from that Ifriqiya then became Africa. There's one group of historians who make that claim. So you can check in Tunisia, in the region in Tunisia, there was a group of people called Ifriqiya, and when the Europeans would trade with them, that became Africa.
Okay, go ahead, Charlie.
No, it's okay. I'm just eating at the moment. So,
well, Charlie, don't take up a spot if you're not going to speak, my brother. I'm just eating at the moment. Okay. All right, guys. Let me read these super chats. Let me put the link in the chat room. You guys are more than welcome to call in. Let me catch up on these super chats real quick. Let's see here. Eruda Boy, thank you for the 10 jewels. Gold coin. If you're not getting gems, Dynast, we are all misinformed. There are literal places in the Grand Canyon called the Tower of Ra and Osiris Temple. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Egypt is in America.
Eruda Boy, thank you for the 10 jewels. Gold coin. Eruda Boy, thank you for the 2 jewels. Superstar. FBA Young Lion, thank you for the 2 jewels. Superstar. Pape 5602, thank you for $5 holla. Albo sound like Waterboy when the professor told him medulla oblongata, but my mama said, let's see here, Pape 5602, thank you for $10 holla. Enigma 3747, thank you for the $5 holla. All right, go ahead, M.
Thank you, sir. I want to make about 3 points, if I could. The first point I want to comment on what the last guy just said about Hannibal and the name of Africa. For one, Tunisia wasn't called Tunisia until the Arab conquest in the 7th, 8th century. So how you gonna say Tunisia, what an Afri tribe was? It was actually called Carthage, and the Romans renamed it Africa Vetus and Africa Nova. But when he said that Scipio Africanus was actually given the name Africanus because it was Latin, that lets you know it was a Roman origin to the word Africa. But as far as the term, the topic, Indians, copper-colored Indians, when you look at the ancient definition of Americans, they said the copper-colored peoples. They didn't say the copper-colored Indians. And then later on, American was associated with the Europeans who came from Europe. But originally, it was the copper-colored peoples. And the word Indian is a misnomer that occurred when the Spaniards, what's her name, Isabella and Ferdinand sent Columbus to America, and when he found the indigenous tribes, he called them Indians. And it kind of stuck with the West Indies, the Caribbeans, but in America, the name was like, Walter Plecker, people like that eventually changed the name from indigenous people, from Indians to other things, colored, mulatto, Negro, and then we got African American. And then the third topic I want to touch on is, and I don't want to mention about what CD and Elvis was talking about. I ain't gonna talk about that, but I would say this: our nationally, globally recognized moniker is African American. Therefore, we are the only Africans on Earth. Everybody else is known by their small continent. And I think Africans resent us for being Africans, right? We're the only people that's actually called Africans. And yet they created the African Union to try to reclaim that term. And then they use African symbolically by calling each other Africans. But in reality, they don't really consider themselves like a global African or a Pan-African. They still are holding on to their tribes and their nations, their nation states.
So
really
do you have an issue with being called African American?
Absolutely not. Like, why would I be?
Okay.
Why would I not want to be
Okay.
considered two continents? That's glory. That's like massive. But it's like a privilege that a lot of us don't recognize, that we have access to two entire continents, and we're like global citizens in that aspect because we have access to every single country in Africa, and other Africans don't really have that privilege. And then they want to use a Jedi mind trick and start calling themselves Africans, but really we're the Africans.
Prison
So
Bible.
you're running away from
Danny,
FBA
let me
now,
make a
right?
quick point real quick, please. Let me make a quick point. Look, there's something I think Am seems like a smart guy, right? There's something called exonym and
Really?
No, I'm going to give him some credit. He's made some good articulate points. But
He has?
take Japan, for example, right? You'll think that the Japanese call themselves Japanese or they call their country Japan, but they don't. They call it Nihon or Nippon. The Japanese would never call Japan Japan. But the Chinese and other, people around that area started calling them Japan. And that's what the Europeans adopted that name. So when you talk about Africa, being called Afrikaners, meaning that's what the Africans call their continent or their land, it's just wrong. It's an exonym. It's not what the people call themselves. So just to give you a understanding of that and giving you a current day reality that a people could call themselves something else and the outsiders will call them something else. So Africa, remember, Greece came before Rome, and during when the Greek Empire was alive and well, they called Africa Ethiopia. They had a completely different name for Africa. There's a country in Africa now called Ethiopia. A lot of other people, even in the Bible talk about if the Ethiopian can change his skin color, because again, the Bible was written in Greek and Hebrew and Aramaic. So the words can change, but what the people call themselves is what really matters. It's not the
Elvis.
that matters.
Elvis, I wanted to ask you, what did your ancestors call your land before the Americans called it Liberia?
Well, there's different areas in the place. Let's take Monrovia, for example, the capital city, right? It's called Duquois or Duor. There's two ethnic groups that live there, the Bassa and the Pele. They call it a similar name, but slightly different. That's the indigenous name for Monrovia. They even want to change the name for Monrovia from honoring James Monroe to that native, name that the people call it, either Duquois. That's why you have the Duquois Hotel, because the native name for Monrovia was called Duquois, So that's what the people call it. But everybody else who didn't want to pronounce the name, or people who wanted to honor James Monroe, they named it Monrovia. And they were the dominant civilization, so they came up top. But you notice, a lot of people know, in Africa, in Lagos, they don't call, I think they got an indigenous name for Lagos, right? Say what? Iko,
Yeah,
or
it's
something
called
else?
Echo. Echo. It's also
Yeah.
the name of a Yoruba clan. Echo, the Echoes.
Right. So I
All right,
pass the mic.
let me pass the mic. Somebody asked Dynas, are you buying that stock in that gold refinery? Has the IPO? Because I know I could buy. I wonder if I could buy it using my Access Bank or UBA accounts. Because I definitely will. Why not?
I don't think they're trading it on Wall Street right now.
Well, not Wall Street. I'm saying, I have a Nigerian bank account. So,
Okay, yeah. You can.
I
It's a very
want-
good stock too. It's doing extremely well.
Oh, shit.
Very
Okay.
well.
Well, shit,
Yeah, it's doing well.
let me see if I can buy some via the app. But all right, go ahead, Big Black.
I'm going to buy in Kenya when I go to Kenya.
I gotta go get my charger real quick. That'll take like a minute.
Okay. All right, Scooby FRMES, you're not connected. Only 4601. Can I buy the stock via through accident? You know, I'm gonna log into my app to see if I can.
Dynast, I wanted to ask you, do you still support Trump?
I don't agree in the direction he's going in as far as specifically the war, but I still believe he's was a better choice than Kamala Harris.
Because I think the only thing we could agree on that he's been consistent with is immigration. He's sticking to that, but everything else seems a bit.
Yeah, the war is. Yeah,
Guys, corrupt. He's a pedophile protector. He's a warmonger.
Well. So what did Biden do? I mean, so Biden and Kamala were pedophile protectors, allegedly.
Dynast, you're putting that on Biden? Are you crazy?
Didn't the case start under Biden?
No, that's a different conversation.
Trump was the one that arrested Jeffrey Epstein in 2016 or 2017. And they asked him on the campaign trail, "Are you going to investigate the Epstein file?" He said, "Oh yeah." But maybe not entirely, because you don't want to hurt some good people.
I really think there's so much involved in the Epstein files that the whole
Biden name wasn't in the Epstein file. Obama name was barely in there. Trump name was there over 1 million times, Dynast. A million times.
Million times doing what?
Mentioned, and it was redacted. Most of it was redacted, Dynast. That's your boy, man.
Well, I mean, hey, if he needs to didn't get locked up.
You know how disingenuous this conversation is. It was the Biden administration, his Department of Justice, that sealed the Epstein files. It was the Trump administration that unsealed the files.
What is this guy talking about?
This guy.
When did Epstein get arrested and killed in jail? Was under Trump. What are you talking about?
Biden's Department of Justice, when they had that case that he inherited when Trump arrested Epstein, they had the files. His Department of Justice moved the court to seal the files. It was the Trump administration. He ran on, releasing the files. So they had to unseal
No, he
the
tried
files.
to stop them from releasing it. That's why he and Marjorie Taylor Greene fell out. That's why he and Lauren Boebert fell out.
No. So why didn't Biden release the Epstein files? That's a good question.
Exactly.
Is that a promise that he made?
Oh Lord, geez, come on, man.
Yeah, Trump was the one that
okay. Out of all the stuff they were trying to get Trump on, why not get Trump on the Epstein shit? I mean, come on.
I mean, Dynast, come on, bro.
Well, I'm just saying, like, why?
Stop it, man. You guys are men. Stop it. Jeez. The guy. What was Biden trying to hide? Was Biden naming the Epstein file, or was it Trump name all over the place?
Again, the question is, why didn't Biden release the files? That's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, because the Department of Justice is a whole, apparatus, right? When Trump was president, they said Epstein killed himself. There's nothing more to it. He killed himself. That's it. All right. When Biden went into power, he wasn't going to try to dig up stuff to pin on Trump. He was, worried about fixing COVID. He was trying to bring back the economy, bring down inflation. That wasn't his top priority. So come on.
This dude just say Biden wasn't trying to dig up stuff on. Didn't he put 200 felonies on Trump?
Oh my God!
That was the Justice Department that put it on him because he started an insurrection. He took on classified documents and took it to Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. Those are all clear, violation of the law.
And add Russian collusion.
No, I don't think they put anything on Russia.
Yeah, they didn't go after him for Russian collusion
for anything like that. Nothing was related to that. It was classified documents, and also New York was after him because
January
of tax
6th
fraud
was a big thing,
and the tax fraud in New York. So
I'm surprised. That's why I don't bring it up, because these things are phenomenological, right? People are going to feel it. They're going to feel the suffering. They're going to come to the logical conclusion from their own personal experience.
Damn, that's a hell of a word. What was that? Phenomenological?
Phenomenological. It means that you make decisions based on things that you feel personally. So I don't got to come in and beat on Trump. The people who voted for him, they're feeling it. They're feeling the pinch. They're feeling how things are going in the country. Next time they'll make better decisions, because they'll come to a logical conclusion that I made a mistake. And a lot of
M is not going to feel it because he's still in school. So he's a student. When he finished school, he'll be running behind white men to get a job.
Hold on. It was something earlier that Elvis said that I didn't disagree with. when he was saying that the Indians are less than because they have like they are in the POW camps, they're drunk, and you know, Black Americans are doing better than them. Like, why would we look down on some people like that? Like, what is that going to gain us by looking
It's
down
just an
at the
actual
people that
fact,
suffer?
brother.
He just
Would
saying
you
that
would you
all of
would you
them.
trade position with an Indian on a reservation? Would you trade position with them?
I mean, you could say that about anybody in Africa.
Oh boy,
Like,
you
if
wouldn't
I
trade
was to say
position with
that,
them.
they'll say I'm talking down about. So I'm
They're in a
condescending
lower
to person.
socioeconomic position than you are, brother. That's a
I mean,
fact.
if you're a person that came from a country that, you know, you was basically complaining about being second
so
class
gooey-eyed
citizens.
for the Indians, and they had slaves.
You was complaining that Black Americans oppressed your people and y'all were second class citizens. Now you come here looking down at a people that you claim is a second class citizen. That's almost hypocritical.
Hey,
Would you trade places with the Indians on a reservation, M?
I mean, a reservation is a prisoner of war camp, according to the military. It's
So
like
you wouldn't trade places with them, right?
They are imprisoned.
Will you trade
I mean,
places
if I
with them?
was born in that circumstance, I wouldn't have no choice. But I wasn't born in that circumstance.
You have the choice. That's why you have the
But
choice.
I
Will you
don't
trade
look
places
down
with them?
at them. I don't think I'm better than them. You know, I don't have a condescension.
It's not about
like
your inherent value as a human being. It's about their social and
mentality towards
economic
them.
situation right now.
Wait a minute.
They are
You
in
the
the
moral,
worst position of
wait a
African
minute,
Americans.
you the moral police now, but I've been hearing you dogging the Africans, continental Africans for the last 10
He
days.
just wants to
Not even
disagree with Elvis. He wants to pick a bull with them.
I'm
It's fine.
dogging the continental Africans.
Yes,
The only thing I say about the continental Africans is they don't want to break bread. They don't want to share the land, and they allow.
Go there. You got to be there to break bread, brother. You can't be in the hallway looking at the dining table. Go to the table and sit there and break bread.
And then when the Africans come to America, they have this superiority, condescending mentality towards us, and then now they got it towards the American Indians. They looking down at them now. Talking about they less second class.
It's a calculable fact that they're in a worse position than you are. If I'm saying that, I'm not dissing them. It's a matter of fact.
Down about people, and you came as a guest to another person's
gosh, bro.
Like it don't make sense to me.
You think
I still don't understand how people can come on Dynast's panel. Dynast literally shows videos of his experiences in the continent. He's not being beaten up. He's not experiencing anything unfriendly. He's actually bringing clients and Black American clients who come with him to these African countries. They have a good time. They become citizens, but yet you will still get Black Americans who will push this propaganda that the continent hates them and the continent looks down on them. You are literally on a channel with a man who invests in going to that. He's going there tomorrow.
I never heard Dinah speak ill about Africa.
But yet you do.
But I've heard
there's a lot of Africans who don't speak ill. I don't speak ill about African Americans.
Y'all speak ill about the people country that
I speak ill about you when you're informed.
Who's y'all?
You've been speaking ill more than anybody on this panel for the last.
You mistake being having constructive criticism.
When you made the egregious claim and that you're going to get some Chicago hood Negroes, gather them up and go to take over Liberia, that's when I responded to you and said they'll have you on the pole in the next morning, bro.
I didn't say nothing about getting some Chicago hood Negroes. I say us as a people. You know, Dinah asked the question like, "What should we do?"
Who you volunteer to go start a war with?
Randomly just thought of a logical solution. Like the only way we could get Liberia back is through warfare.
So it was logical for me to say that you get your head knocked off then. So why would you complaining about me to a guest like that was my mama or somebody that you're telling on me?
But you said that earlier, and I say
I said it in response to you. In response to you saying ridiculous statement.
No. You said that on the show. I wasn't even on the show. I was just listening to it, and you was bragging about how your people took Liberia. You called us the Queen people, talking about we lazy city people.
Doesn't Liberia
you said you would
belong
tell a
to
Black
both
American that you would knock their head off. I wasn't even on the show.
You said you'll go back there and take people there to go and retake Liberia.
Later on,
you're making a proclamation of war. You think I'm going to be sweet and kind to you?
Listen.
Try it, bro.
You're not being genuine. Like Dinah asked me a question like a few months later about what do he think I should do about it or we should do about it. I think the only thing we could do is to probably wage war and get the country back, because I don't think they're willing to share it. Or like y'all were written us out
What
of
do
the
you
Constitution.
mean?
Like
There are African
our
Americans who are
bloodline is not
citizens in
even
Liberia. African Americans are
our
living in Liberia
bloodline
right
is not
now.
even one of the tribes that's recognized in
Who
Liberia.
did
So
that? Who do you think did that?
the native Liberians
Not
that
true. That's
rewrote
where
the
you're
Constitution.
ignorant. The 15 tribe of Liberia was made by the American Liberian. They displayed it. And you know what they didn't do? They didn't include themselves as a tribe because they thought they were above tribe. You know, they didn't put themselves there. Right now, there's a group that's advocating for them to be recognized as one of the official tribes in Liberia. So imagine they had power for over 133 years. They didn't recognize themselves as an ethnic group or a tribe. They didn't put themselves on a mask. They didn't make themselves a part of our social fabric. Now that they're no longer in power, they're not even recognized as a tribe. They're looked at as others. You see?
Right, but what I was saying
So it
was
wasn't
like
our doing. That was their doing.
the African people had this negative connotation about Liberians for over 100 years, and it culminated with that coup, and nobody stopped it, and
That's
nobody
not true. It was it was because of the times. There was revolution going on all over Africa in the 70s and the 80s. And then you had hold on, let me tell you. You had a rice riot, you had a rice protest that happened a year earlier where a lot of Liberians got killed by their own police. And most of the organizer of that protest was languishing in jail. There was rumor that they were going to be killed. You had one of the Liberian progressive who registered a political party and was going to run for mayor of Monrovia. The first time an indigenous person was going to run for office in Monrovia, right? And the president canceled the election. He canceled the election after allowing him to register and for them to form a political party. He disenfranchised them politically. He didn't let them have political agency. So the country was becoming more conscientized. A lot of people wanted to be included in the political system. They wanted to have their own political parties, and the government refused it. So that's what really broke the floodgates. It's not because they hated them.
I don't think he's listening to you. It's just going in one ear, coming out the other.
How are you gonna tell me what I'm listening to? That's because I'm not
interrupting.
You did
you agree with
girl,
Elvis?
right?
No. Period.
You did a Liberian girl. You should have known a lot more about Liberia. And you said you didn't
She
hear
didn't
about
tell
it.
me about she told me about Samuel Doe being killed. They had a videotape, but she didn't tell me that they killed off the Black Americans. I guess she was kind of
Because it's not true. That's why she didn't tell you. The coup happened. The government, the cabinet members got executed. Those people who had the power, and a lot of people they didn't even want him to get executed. But Samuel Doe, being a military tyrant, he did that. Right?
No, she told me about him getting killed.
He got killed too. But what I'm telling you is because in your mind, you think after the coup, people started going and finding all the Congo people and killing them. I have Congo people in my family. During the war, the Congo people fled with my mother's family and protected by the native people.
I didn't even
Charles
know
Taylor himself is a Congo man.
The killing of the government until CD mentioned it.
So then, what are you angry about? So you're angry that the government official got killed during the coup? You know how many other African coups had people getting killed? Government official got killed
because I'm pretty sure there's other people on here. You know.
Yeah, you think if it happens to your people, then it's hatred. But if a Yoruba person commits a coup and kill Igbos, or Igbo person commit a coup and kill Yoruba, that's fine because they're just Africans and you're not African. That's what happens in a lot of countries. People take over power and they kill the government in power. They kill people that's part of that government.
What I'm saying is, we were slaves and we tried to get a home in Africa, and that was robbed of us. Like it's not the same as a person in
mismanaged it. You socially mismanaged it.
They have
you had your land, you had your country, but you're only 10% at most of the population, and 90% of the population you didn't integrate that.
We was trying to get some type of freedom in Africa and tried to have some type of camaraderie with the people over there, and it was met with resistance, and then we was eventually killed off and excluded.
I mean, that's a You don't know what you're talking about.
You keep using Africa and Liberia in the same sentence as if they're one and the same thing. Liberia is a country in Africa.
I mean,
so
we're the only Africans.
You keep saying, well, these Africans and then Liberians. It's like, whoa! It's like that happened in Liberia. That doesn't mean that the rest of the continent felt that way about Black Americans.
And when did you turn African
Liberians didn't even hit the Black Americans. It's not true. The point here is the land.
When did I become African American? I was born with that term. No, I wasn't born with that term. When I was born, we didn't have that term.
We had like 5 or 6 concession agreements, right? All of these concession agreement was conceded to foreign country companies, right? In the native quote unquote land. It wasn't in Monrovia. It was in places like Harbel, in Bunk County, in Nemac County, in Bowman County. Those all of those concession was bringing millions of dollars to the government coffers. But the people that live in those concession areas, like what you have with the Obronians down there in I think it's Delta State or wherever, the resources wasn't benefiting them. It was going down to Monrovia and benefiting the fat cats in government. So the land that the people who occupied the land where there was iron ore being mined, there was other things being mined from the land, taxes being paid to the government, that place wasn't being developed. Educational system for those people wasn't being, catered to.
Hold
So there
on,
was a lot
Elvis.
of social things that was happening.
Elvis, hold
Let
on,
me
hold on.
ask you a question.
Wait a
Let me ask you
minute,
a question real
Let me
quick.
ask you a question real quick, M. So you're not FBA anymore?
FBA is not an official term. African American is, but let me ask you a
So
question,
you're not
Elvis.
so you're not FBA?
Let me ask you a question, Elvis. So Dinah's
Yes.
asked me. He said
Damn,
he
you gonna run
made a
away from my
statement.
question?
Dinah's made a statement. He said Liberia is still there. Go there. So what if Black Americans wanted to go to Liberia? What would have happened?
Nothing. You know your brother. I don't know if you know Collar Genesis. Collar goes to Liberia all the time. He loves the country. He has a wife there. He's settled in Liberia. There are Black Americans who live in Liberia. There are people who have quote unquote American Liberian stock who are prominent in Liberia. The thing that happened was just a coup. It was an opportunity. A military guy took over the country, killed his own people, killed a lot of native people, more native people than he killed African Americans. Understand that. So it was a military dictatorship who became a tyrant. He got his comeuppance at the end. But don't think that you're hating Liberia. You'll be welcome. You go there, you want to do business, you want to be a part of the country, you're welcome to be.
All right. Hey, thank you. I'm finna rotate.
All right, let me pass the mic to Big Black. Go ahead, Big Black.
Yeah, I understand that. He was FBA yesterday. He was at Albo the day before. I don't understand him, man. He just comes on the troll. I don't understand.
He's
His anger.
bipolar.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't understand the Indians. What trips me out about these so-called Indians, right? These albos, right? Before because I'm a little bit older in my 40s, right? And in hip hop, right? Even before the internet age, I never heard of the albo stage of hip hop. We had the the Pan African stage of hip hop. It was a lot of Afrocentricity. Where was this alboism? I didn't see anybody walking around, with moccasins saying that we was always here. None of that ever was in the hip hop stages in America. This whole the tripped out thing about this whole abo movement, right? If the internet was not here and a random guy was just walking in the hood telling people that we were Indian, everybody would look at him like a fool, like he was like something was wrong with him. He would be an outsider. You know, I think this abo movement is like an incel movement, right? These incels that really, they was afraid to say anything because they would be laughed at, so they might have had this thought in their head. Some of that, and also, to be honest with you, some of it is, I think they really know that we're African, right? That they're African, right? But has Africa done the best to not only apologize to African Americans, but because there was a whole lot of people, you know, shipped around the Americas, right? And I would say personally, I don't think countries that did the people that were in that participated in selling slaves did the best job, because not everybody in Africa, not every country in Africa participated in slavery. Um, so I think at the same time that has had an effect on the diaspora as a whole, as if even after learning our stories, it seemed like some, not all, it seemed like some, continental Africans didn't care, you know. But overall, I think that group got swallowed up by the FBA movement. A lot of them ran into the FBA movement. The FBA movement is half Albo, so so that's probably why you don't see a lot of Indians like we used to see, like 2 years ago, the Indians were lining up to jump on this show and talk, but you don't see that much no more. You know, you see all the FBAs running up to jump and talk and grab the mic. But I'll
Well,
pass the mic.
I identify myself as an FBA, and I believe it is like, I think it's more of a heritage and a lineage thing. It's for people like, I don't know what the term was that you was just called, you was just referring to, the Black Americans, but
that was
I'll
like
say
the
this, man.
90s, the early 90s. You know, yeah, X-Clan, Public Enemy. You know, these people were bumping red, black, and green, and you had Dead Prez in the early 2000s, red, black, and green. You know, it was on the Chappelle show. So there was, I've seen this. You know, the Afrocentricity movement, right?
Afrocentricity.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. That what Elvis said, right? But always had problems saying that word. But I haven't seen this album movement. None in hip
No,
hop.
I agree though. But one thing about it, you in certain songs and certain movies, certain actors even, like, it's an individual thing, man. That's not in everybody's lineage. So I feel like people just got this thing to where they want to be a monolith when it comes down to Black Americans, and that's why I see a lot of people nowadays they try to co-opt the term Black American now, because they know they can't even be a FBA by lineage. It's like it's some type of other little. I think it's like a government psyop program or some type going on right now to have people from the continent that has lineage from the continent that's born in America on some shit to go against us. All I see as me as an FBA, I participate in FBA lives as well on different apps. So I think it's just the thing where people are just seeing the pride in us being Black Americans, and people don't respect it to a degree, because they want to be included. And I feel like with us acknowledging all our achievements and basically reclaiming our stuff, because it's not that we even gave it up or let anybody else, put stakes on it. It's just the fact that, hey man, shit, we basically staking our claims to, all of our achievements and everything that we continue to do over here in this country. And that's the part of, what delineation is. People got a problem with us delineating. They don't, and that's what is not FBA. The FBA people are nothing but Black Americans. If you have a problem with Black Americans, you have a problem with 50-some million people.
Well, the whole thing is though. Here's the thing. The whole FBA thing was built from a historical lie. With 1/3 Indian, with 1/3 Aboriginal, and then with 1/3 African.
Well, see, that's people mixing that shit up, man. I'm
But
gonna be honest with
hold
you.
on though.
That's people mixing it up with their own thing.
But Tariq put that out there, and he is the maker, the co-founder, and he has the trademark FBA. He had it on his website. So
he can't. He not the co-founder of Black Americans though. He just added a word onto it, and he really not the founder of the term foundational Black American.
Yes, he is.
It's actually Dr. Claude Anderson.
Claude Anderson used a different term. He said Native Black Americans, but he didn't say something like that. He never said foundational.
Okay, so if you pay attention to Tariq Nasheed, I think, and you have, a lot of people got their own little problem with him, but whatever. If you pay attention to what he's saying, a lot of Black Americans, we acknowledge that our ethnic group is a native-born ethnic group to the United States, just like everybody else acknowledge these white Anglo-American, Protestant people. They acknowledging these people, acknowledging the fact that they have American heritage with their movement, but don't nobody want to acknowledge the fact that Black people have their own ethnicity and our own traditions in this country as well.
Oh, they never deny that. They love their European.
And all the amendments is all about us, man.
They love their European roots. Let's stop this for a minute. They love their European roots. When you go into their history books, we need to stop this lie. Like they just first thing we learn about is all of Europe, right? We learn about the Romans. We learn about the Greeks.
Everybody, indigenous, brother. Indigenous doesn't mean that you are basically, it doesn't mean that you some type of feather wearing person or anything. That's the United States. Everybody wore feathers. Every culture around the world, I think, has some type of, you know, relevance.
No, they were saying they were
wearing
original
feathers
people in this
or
land, which is a
head
lie.
race. So one thing about it, indigenous, you can apply that word to anyone, just like native. Anybody can be native. Those are facts. Anybody can be native.
You're aboriginal. You're saying you're the first person on this land. Black people weren't the first person.
Anybody
on this
can be. Okay, so with us, actually, by definition, through us being an indigenous group to the United States that was literally born here as an ethnicity, we are aboriginal to this land. That's a fact.
Well, no,
a lot of the people that's mixed in with that heritage and this lineage actually was here before
You're aboriginal to the United States, not the land. You were here before the country was founded.
Exactly. So,
but even when the country, here's the thing: even when the country was founded, we were still slaves, and we still wasn't citizens, right? So it's.
You can't say everyone was a slave and all of that because
everybody made that slave, but nobody was a citizen. No black man was a citizen when the United States.
That's not true. That's not true.
They weren't allowed to be citizens. What are you talking about?
You had different regions. You had states weren't even states. Regions and borders and all this shit and state lines and shit wasn't even a thing back then at this point in time that you're referring to. So basically, black people,
the Constitution considers black people three-fifths of a person.
If you're talking about black people, the people that have
I gotta pass the mic. Scooby F. I can't even pronounce. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. All I'm saying is, man, is that black people have.
That's who was talking. Oh, okay.
Okay. You want me to go ahead, bro?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Charlie.
All right. I was just saying, bro. If you refer, if he's referring to the ethnic group that has been here and served in the first military branch that was ever found in the United States, man. Hey, the Union, the United States Army. Those are my ancestors. And
there was no African people in the United States before colonization. None.
Yeah, that's true.
And I agree with that. I agree with that. I can agree with that. But you had certain people actually, for me to just say that no Africans were brought here, that's kind of false, man. It was a few that got brought here. I can acknowledge that. I'm not a person that's biased with history.
Why do you guys say there are 50 billion foundational Black Americans?
It's not 50 billion, it's 50 million. It was actually 40, it's like 48, 49 million.
There's not 50 million people who identify as foundational Black Americans. It's what you identify.
No, your lineage is foundational, but you yourself, your ethnic group
nobody knows
American.
What he's trying to say is that nobody knows that word. Tariq made that word up. I don't honor FBA. It's not official.
Yeah, it's kind of a new thing. I can acknowledge that as well.
It's not official. And the thing is,
it's not as new.
It's not going to get past. It's not going to get past our political class. It's not. It's not going to get past our political class. So it's never going to be.
That's you, sir. And
I'm just saying.
We just got past the Democrats.
FBA is a hate cult. It's a hate cult.
It is a cult, sir.
Well, no, some people that have the lineage, that are FBAs and identify as FBA, they can be a little, kind of too hotted, a little extreme or whatever.
I think
but no, they not they not.
I think it's a pseudo book. I think it's a pseudo book club, sir.
Okay, well,
yeah. If I could interject,
it's not, but you got a lot of intellectual FBAs though. That's extremely like on some delineation type shit. So my bad, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, if I could interject, that misnomer of an acronym, that 3-letter acronym, is not a lineage. It is not a lineage. Lineage means
African American is a misnomer as well.
Why?
Lineage means from the same bloodline. So you want to tell me that all the Black folks in America are related to each other?
That's what a lineage
That's
is.
That's not
Yes,
true.
yes,
but through the
that's what a
same,
lineage
but
is. That
okay.
is a
So listen,
universal accepted definition of
That's what
lineage.
lineage means. That
okay.
means
So
your family line.
Is
That means
okay. So
it's not broken. It's coming straight
in a
down.
It's a bloodline. So
in
you're
a
gonna tell me
way,
that
okay. So
every black
in a way,
American in
yes.
America came from the same
We share
plantation,
some of
came
the
from the
same
same
regions of this
plantation,
country because
and they
we are.
related to each other because that's what a
We
lineage
are.
is. It's
We
the
are.
same bloodline. It's a
We
misnomer
That's
of
are.
not
an
true.
acronym.
We are.
It's
We
not
actually
correct.
are.
No, you're not related to. You're not related to me.
No,
Are you
our
related to the
ethnic
Gullah
group
Geechee
is
people?
related.
You're
We
not
actually
related to
are.
the
We
same
just because someone is born in California, people migrate, man. People move around,
You're
man.
gonna tell me that you got
I'm gonna
cousins in
tell you,
every
yes.
state
Yes,
in
I'm gonna
America.
tell you
What
that.
unites you
Yes.
is your race and your connection to Africa, not your blood.
Is a bloodline. That
Race
means
is a
you are
construct,
related to the
and it
same
doesn't
people,
apply to
each other.
ethnicity.
Lineage is a bloodline. It's in the name. It's in the word.
And yes,
Line,
and lineage
is
applies
lineage.
to
The
your
suffix of
ethnicity
that
as
word is
well.
AGN.
So Black
That means
American
the
people
first
in the
part of the
United
word
States
is
have an
line.
ethnic group.
That
We
means
have an
coming from
ethnic
the
group like
same
every other
line
person
of
in the
people.
world does.
It's the same line of people, the same family lineage.
African American is a 1989 term, and it got put in the law
That's what I'm
actually
saying.
in the 2000s.
It is not a lineage.
It's not.
It is
I'm
not
older.
A
I was
lineage.
born.
It is
I'm
not a
older than the
lineage.
term
Before
African American.
1989, sir, and you probably was he born before 1989. So what does that? It was used before 1989.
No, it wasn't actually put.
Yes,
It wasn't put on. It was
the
not put on. It was not put on paper on federal paper and federal documents until the 2000s.
Yeah, it is, but that acronym has been trademarked by Marcus, aka Tariq Nasheed. It's been trademarked. So anybody using that acronym are opening themselves to some legal liability. So I just tell people to be careful of that. Be careful when you use that.
It's not legal liability. How can you
because
he
Because he trademarked it, and now it's his intellectual property. You can't just use it all willy-nilly.
Africa is trademarked.
That means he owns that acronym. He owns that.
It's his intellectual property.
Somebody owns the United. Somebody owns the name of the United States as well. Everything is trademarked.
Who owns the name of the United States?
You can't pull it, man. On a T-shirt and sell them. Try to put those letters on a hat.
You got to try something different, man.
Ain't gonna come
People
after
already. They got flags, man.
Yeah, they doing that, and they're open to legal liability.
So what's wrong with you, man? It seems like you upset on some outdated Pan-African noise.
Because you can't copyright a lineage. The copyright office will tell you can't copyright a lineage or a race.
You can't copyright a lineage.
You can't, but you can
really
copyright.
So why did they allow him to copyright it if it's a lineage?
Because y'all guys are arguing with the fact that he.
That's what I'm trying to tell him. They allowed it because it's not a lineage. He registered as an organization. He didn't register as a lineage. That's what you have to understand, brother.
Got you guys angry, man.
Registered as a lineage because it's not a lineage.
It's not a lineage. Else it wouldn't be copyrighted.
50-some million black folks have a fucking foundational lineage, dog. That's what you missing the fact of. Yes, we do. Yes,
why is the FBA flag not? Why the red, black, and green flag is waved in Washington D.C.? Why is not the FBA flag? Why do your government recognize the FBA flag?
Most of us have American lineage. All of us are American. My ethnic group in America is black. I'm a black man. My people are black people, Negro people, colored people, man. What are you talking about?
Of continuity. That's what a lineage is. It's a single.
Big words doesn't make you right, man.
A single bloodline. So that means that every black person in America is related to.
There's no such thing as a single bloodline. There's no such thing.
That's why you all can't have a united lineage. You can be of the same race or ethnicity, but not a lineage.
Is that what you're saying? So you think all Jamaicans come from the same bloodline?
But it's not.
That's what Tariq is saying. The FBA is a lineage, and that would imply that everybody comes from the same bloodline.
Ethnic mixtures, but they don't come from the same bloodlines.
So tell that to Tariq. The FBA can't be a lineage because everybody don't come from the same bloodline.
Think what the fuck you're arguing about, man? You trying to argue right now? You don't even have nothing to argue right now.
It's not a lineage.
It is a lineage. Very much so. We not getting deported.
It's not a lineage.
I'm not getting deported. My people not getting deported. How isn't it a lineage or ethnic? It's an ethnicity.
Because a lineage means you all descend. You all descend from a common ancestor, and you don't. That's the point.
And then you have generic Black Americans like the Caribbeans and the African Americans and etc. Those are generic Black Americans. They're not Black American ethnically. They're racially Black American by fucking definition, y'all. If you apply yourself, if you have immigration in your lineage, you are not a Black American by blood.
Why do you hate the word African, sir?
You're politically a Black American. I don't
why
hate
do you
Africans. I have actually.
Why don't you like the word African American? Why don't you like the word African American?
I don't hate Black people. I have Black friends.
No, I'm saying why don't
is not applied to me and my ethnic group though.
How it doesn't? If you fill out an application, right?
It's a misnomer.
For your ethnic group,
you can't be
no. If you fill out, hold on, brother.
That is for Moroccan people.
If you fill out an application,
people like Obama, man, it's not for people like me.
Sir, if you fill out a job application right now and they ask for your ethnic group, it's gonna say Black or African American. That's you.
And I'll put Black. You Africans immigrate.
No, it'll be Black / African
Africans and Caribbeans should choose other, but they don't. They choose Black and African American, and that's the confusion right there.
No, it says Black /
because they're Black. They're racially Black, so it applies to them.
That's why a lot of people getting deported right now. But you guys don't want.
They are racially Black, so it applies to them.
Bro, it'll be Black / African American.
The Black is the race. The African American is the ethnicity.
Right.
No, African American is not our ethnicity. That's wrong. That's why we remove the race.
It's not your race. You're not a different race than a Black African.
You had literally damn near 30,000 people go to the OMB in like 2025 to change that African American shit off of paper and have everybody that's coming here from Africa to ethnically mark what country they come from.
Hey, do you have a driver's license? Do you have a driver's license?
Everybody.
Do you have a driver's license? If you look at it right now, where it says race, you have a B right there. That's because you're Black. I have a driver's license. Where it says race, I got a B right there too. It says Black. So we're the same race. Different ethnicity, same race.
But by the next presidential election, that'll all change, bro.
So you want to change your race? You want to be a different race than the Africans?
You're gonna change your race. That's not my
so
race.
What's my race? What am I going to be?
Is American. I come from North America.
Right.
American is not a race, brother.
I come from fucking Africa.
America is not a race.
America's not a race.
It's a continent, just like Africa is, right?
Yeah, but being an African doesn't mean
can't play the semantic games with smart niggas.
It's North America. No, you're not smart if you think America is white.
Hey, that's a $10. That's a tariff. That's a tariff.
Tariq got his money.
Hey, you could sell it. Your tariff.
Yeah, but Dynas, I wanted to say something that was mentioned earlier in the conversation about.
Hold on. He got to pay his tariff.
What you mean the tariff, bro? I'm new to this. What you mean the tariff?
Then you already said the N word. You said the N word, and I said you can't use it.
What's the tariff shit though?
You got to pay a $10 tariff.
Yeah, but yes. Your word over here. This is not Tariq's place.
I like that, Dynas. I like that. £10.
This is not an FBA channel where you talk out willy-nilly.
Get a bunch of nonsense.
Man, if y'all niggas think y'all finna get $10 out of niggas, man, you out y'all fucking mind, man. Y'all niggas sorry,
all right, bro, you just gotta drop off, man. You can't
another way, man.
Can't hear the simple rules, man.
YouTube and go get a job.
Those are the rules, man. Those are the rules. But anyway, Dynas, I just wanted to address something that was mentioned earlier in the conversation about Dan Goldie's IPO coming up. I know it's kind of a little bit off topic.
No. That's important. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So it's to be released in late August or early September on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Now you can download any number of apps that allow you to trade on, Kenyan exchange, South African exchange, Nigerian exchange. You can do that from America. So that's what I kind of wanted to kind of touch on that you said earlier. That was earlier in the conversation. Also, the other point was the Trump administration did not release the Epstein files. Congress did. Congress passed a law which which allowed the Epstein files to be released. Pam Bondi got fired because she couldn't prevent that from happening. That's how that happened. So Trump didn't release the Trump administration didn't release the files. Congress did. That's all I want to say with that. That's kind of regressing in the conversation, but okay.
Okay.
All right. Cat, go ahead, Cass.
Yeah, I've been kind of listening to the conversation, and I guess I have a question more than anything else, and it's like, I guess it's toward the African guys on the platform. Like, do you guys believe that Black Americans are their own separate ethnic group?
Yes.
So I don't see, because I mean I don't understand. Like, it seemed like a lot of the arguments come from a point of view as if we're all the same people, and I don't see how people. I mean, people in Africa aren't the same people. So I guess I don't know.
Look.
It's kind of mind-boggling to me. I don't know.
Sir, I'm African American. I slave.
Let him finish. You only have like 30 seconds to speak. Let him finish.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm just more confused than anything else, because I mean, Africa has like, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of different tribes, different ethnic groups, people that have been literally living next to each other for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and they don't even view themselves as the same people. So how can people literally who just immigrated to this country that we've been into for centuries seem to have so much confusion about the fact that Black Americans are own separate people, our own
Bro,
heritage?
you have an accent, brother. Not to be pedantic, but you have an accent.
I have an accent?
Yeah.
So yeah,
even I can notice.
Everybody has an accent. So
No, you have like a Caribbean or African accent.
No, I'm not Caribbean African. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm Gullah Geechee.
Yeah, we hear the accent.
Well, you have good ears. I applaud you. But I mean, that's not. I mean, I don't know what that has to do with anything. You know what I'm saying?
No, because if you have an accent, and maybe you're from the Caribbean or African ancestry.
I'm not from the Caribbean. I told you
that may be, but I'm telling you, I don't say this to everybody.
Listen, I didn't call in here to play no games. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm just telling you.
But why cap? If M comes in here, I disagree with him, but he doesn't have an accent. You do. I'm telling you, when we hear African Americans like Diana is a big black or others speak, we listen to them. They don't have an accent. You do. So why are you saying when you clearly have the accent?
Listen, I already told you. I don't know. Maybe y'all play internet games and all this stuff and all that.
Internet games. See, that's what I'm saying. You have an accent.
Huh?
You have an accent, bro.
Yeah.
Don't hide your identity, bro. You can't fool us.
What is my accent? You can't tell me what I. This is the problem with you people. You think you can come to somebody else's country and tell them and dictate to them who they are? Like, nobody wants to go where you guys are from and tell you where you are, what you are. What is your problem? Does it come from like a sense of insecurity or something?
Insecurity? Come on, bro. Hey, I'm not knocking your rhetoric. I'm just saying we hear your accent. I hear your accent, bro.
Nobody wants to go to Nigeria.
Bro, we used to go to school with Africans and Jamaicans who clearly had an accent, but would say that they're from America, right? This is something that happened a long time ago, and some people are still doing it even into adulthood.
Like whatever. I don't have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up around no Africans. No,
I live in Britain. I can hear your accent. I can hear your accent.
I can hear your accent.
Why do you care about his accent anyway? Come on.
No, because he's saying that he's African American, and that's not true. If you have an accent, most likely you're not African American.
Bro, my people
he can have
from
a southern
Charleston,
accent.
South Carolina.
You're right. They do have an accent.
Literally, the road that I grew up on is named after my 4 times great grandfather.
Okay.
Yeah, he can have a southern accent.
You people are sick.
We know southern accents, bro.
Well, here's a question for you though.
You say
this is not no disrespect to your heritage. No disrespect to your heritage. But you say this to Gullah Geechee. The Gullah Geechee recognize their African ancestry.
America, and because you don't fit in back home because you're not from the culture your parents come from, and you don't fit in here because you have no lineage and no heritage here.
What are you talking about? The moment they were saying you are not African American.
Identity
What are you
crisis
talking
is a
about?
problem.
Hold on. Do you believe you have a racial identity?
No disrespect to your heritage, but do Gullah Geechees acknowledge their African ancestry? Yes or no?
No, listen. I acknowledge my African ancestry, but I'm not.
So why do you say you different people then?
Because
why do you say you're not the same people?
We're not the same people. How can we be the same people?
That if that's where you come from, you wouldn't be.
I hear that Caribbean accent, man.
If it wasn't
How
for that.
could we be the same people?
Is it
Igbo the same person? Is it Igbo the same people as the Yoruba? What are you talking about?
Well, they are not.
I'm talking about you just acknowledge that
you're black people.
African ancestry. You have African heritage. You are the same people. That's where your people.
I'm the same people as who?
As Africans.
Racially, you're the same people. You might be different ethnically.
Can I just say something? Can I just say something quickly? Can I just say something quickly? Because I see that a lot of people struggle with this identity issue. Hold on, let me say this. I think you said earlier on. You said earlier on that Africans
come from.
Can I just say something regarding this identity issue? Because you said something about Africans not seeing themselves as Africans. They see themselves as different tribes, and just like even in America, just now, as you can see, some people were trying to call you out. Hold on, let me finish what I'm saying. Hold on, let me finish what I'm saying. Because hold on, let me finish now. Let me finish what I'm saying. Come on. You've been talking now. You've been talking. Let me just finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. Nobody disputed it. You asked the question here whether African Americans have their own identity. Nobody disputed it. So stop fighting a straw man. Stop fighting a straw man. Nobody disputed that African Americans have their own ethnic identity. However, for you to sit there and pretend as if you don't have a greater identity, that is falsehood.
What is my great identity? What is my great identity? Tell me what my great identity
is. You have a race. You can pretend as if you
believe
don't.
in race.
You do have it. Let me say this to you. Let me say this.
I don't believe in race.
You might not believe in it, but he believes in you.
I don't know.
Let me say this.
I don't believe
you might not believe in it. You might as well say you are a dog. You might as well say you are a dog and expect us to believe in your own delusion. But we are not going to believe in it because the reality still indicates that you are part of a race, and if you deny that identity, it's a form of self-denial, and it's tantamount to madness.
What are the defining characteristics of my race?
Hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying, because I've had a lot of people say this stuff all the time. Oh, we are different from this. Even children born of the same parents are different from each other, sometimes to deadly consequences. That doesn't mean they are not relatives. Don't pretend as if you are not black and that identity doesn't exist.
There's no one in my family that is Igbo. There's no one in my family.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't. You get it.
Listen again. You are trying to tell me about my family.
No. I'm not saying you are not your family.
I mean, anybody share that action, bro? I mean, come on, man. It's so obvious. Come on.
You have a mental issue. If you cannot understand that you have multiple identities, you are a father. You are a daughter.
You have multiple identities and maybe personalities. I have one identity. I know what I am.
One identity. Come on, man. The dude is he's a Caribbean, man.
You can't tell me.
The only identity he's struggling to navigate is his racial identity. You don't have a problem being from South Carolina or wherever you say you are from. You don't have a problem being an American.
It's not wherever I say I'm from. It's where I am from. It's where my mother and father are from. My grandparents are from. My great grandparents. My great grandparents.
And you don't have any problem with that. That is just one aspect of
the identity.
Action, bro.
What are you talking about?
Understand that that's your identity.
You're American. You are American.
Huh?
It's just one aspect of
American.
Are
you American?
Listen, I'm not calling into Africa to be confirmed by you people. I know what I am.
Are you American?
Is this Passport King disguising his voice a little bit?
Africa does your ancestry come from? Which country? Sierra Leone, Liberia? What country in West Africa? There's no disrespect. Just trying to understand. You said you Gullah Geechees recognize acknowledge their African ancestry, but yet you say you're not African.
In Liberia, we have two ethnic groups called the Gola and the Gisi. Right? They're well known for planting rice. They're rice cultivators.
What do you mean? Biologically, the concept of race may not be a lie, but politically, it's a fact. Pretending as if it doesn't exist will lead you to deadly consequences. Race is a political reality. If you pretend as if it doesn't exist, then you might as well be living in cloud cuckoo land. So I don't know why people just fight
where are
with
you
the
from?
identity
Where are
all
you
the time.
from? Where are you from?
I'm a Nigerian and another African at the same time,
What tribe
and
are
a
you
black
from?
person at the same time.
What tribe
You
are
can
you
have
from?
multiple identities.
Dinus, you got to put the link out. Brandon's trying to come up.
I don't know why people you do that all the time. You navigate multiple identity every day without any issue. But somehow,
Hey, 1 second, please. Hey, Mari Shah, can you post the link?
I don't know why people do that. It's just weird, really.
Take a breath,
Tell
man.
me the political. You said race is a political.
No, it's a bit annoying. People do this a lot.
Race is a political reality. Explain to me how race is some type of political reality.
See, you can't even pronounce the word political correct, man. You have an accent. You're Caribbean, bro. Come on.
Whatever. You can say whatever you want. That don't change
South
nothing.
Carolina.
Hey, but hold on, hold on. It's Dinus talking. It's Dinus talking. Hey, Cass. Hey, Cass. I'm talking. The host is talking. The host is talking. The host is talking. Hey, Cass. I was gonna say, if you're Gulagichi, you got to come to Sierra Leone with me.
Right. Listen, I don't have no problem with going for visiting nowhere, but I still am what I am.
Well, you are. I'm not challenging. I'm just saying, if you're Gulagichi, you got to come to Sierra Leone with me.
No, I don't. That's the thing. No, I don't have to. I don't gotta do nothing. That's what I'm saying.
Would you want to learn about your heritage and your ancestry, where you come from?
It'll say Gulagichi.
But no. What you have
The dude's a Caribbean, man. His passport broke his nephew.
With your blood clot, a ras clot, a bomber clot. You're Caribbean.
You don't know.
Your blood clot, a ras clot. You're Caribbean, your boy.
All right, guys. Let me pass the mic to Pharaoh. Then I pass it to Brandon. Go ahead, Pharaoh. You good? Go ahead, Pharaoh.
Yeah, peace. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to respond to the guy because I know he was talking about me when he said when he mentioned the word Africa. I've been studying this subject for a long time, and I'm gonna take it a step further and debate it with some of the top authorities. But this guy when he said because I'm all about the truth when it comes to this subject. Okay, I'm not down with with the majority of mainstream point of view. But he is wrong when he said that Africa, Scipio Africanus got the name because he conquered Africa. When he said Scipio Africanus got the name from the continent, no, that is entirely wrong. Okay, and for you to say that, you're actually saying that the Romans.
Sir, he had a whole nother name before that. He had a whole nother name before that. Did you know that? He had a whole nother name.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to that. To say that is to say that the Romans had some type of honor to the Africans, and no, they didn't. They had no respect for the people in Carthage. They had no respect for their enemies like that to name the continent after its indigenous name. So, but what he failed to realize is that the continent, it had a name before it was called Africa. It was called Libya. Okay, and Scipio, Publius Scipio, he got the name Africanus before the continent got the name Africanus. He was called Africanus. Then after him, the continent got the name of Africanus. And out of disrespect, they took away the name Libya.
So how did he get the name Africanus? Africanus. How did he get the name Africanus? Because you said he got the name Africanus. So that inquires that means that he had a name before that.
It was a title. It was an honorific title, meaning like the conqueror of Africa. That's what the name.
Yes, that was. Yeah, he. No, what I'm saying is he got the name first before the continent got the name. Because
that's untrue.
That's not true. Larry eloquently stated what happened. Larry did a great job.
It was not called Afrospec. They took away.
Let me ask you
original indigenous name and called it.
Let me ask
the Romans.
Let me ask you a question.
Did not respect people of Africa like that.
Do you know who Julius Caesar is? Do you know who Julius Caesar is?
Of course,
Julius Caesar.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So, do you know where Julius Caesar gained his prestige? Do you know where he fought to earn his agnomen?
Was it in Germany? What is not Germany?
So, it was called Germania. So Julius Caesar conquered the Germanic tribes in Germania, right? He wasn't just Julius Caesar anymore, he was Julius Caesar Germanicus, right? The very nature of agnomen, it requires that the place has a name before you conquer it, because you are a conqueror of that land. So your statement is false. It was called Africa.
Your
Wait
statement
a
is
minute.
false.
Wait a
Your
minute.
statement is false.
Brandon is right. He's on the right track.
Listen, Scipio. Listen, bro. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Look, if you conquer
Skip.
that
No,
continent,
wait.
if you conquer
Do you
that
know?
continent,
Pharaoh,
Do you know?
give him a
Why are
chance
you
to make a
yelling?
point, Pharaoh.
Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling?
Libius.
His name was Scipio Publius before that. And once he went into Africa and conquered in Africa, fought Africans and conquered them, once he did that, he became Scipio Africanus. Just like once Julius Caesar conquered the Germanic tribes, he became Julius Caesar Germanicus. You're 100% wrong. You're 1,000%
Yeah,
wrong.
but No. I'm 100%
Your
right, and you're
name
100%
would
wrong.
your name if it was called Libya, if it was called Libya, they would have called him Scipio Publius Libius or whatever. You literally took the agnomen from the name of the land that you conquered. So the land had to have that name before you conquered it.
And that proves
It's
that the
like
name
saying you want an
Africanus.
NBA type. Listen,
That proves that the name
you
Africanus
keep saying
came
no,
from him.
brother, but
He
this is
didn't
the
get it from the
historical
continent.
fact.
Okay, because if he was named after if he conquered Germania and called himself Scipio Germanicus,
it's not if he did do that.
That means he had more honor for the Germans than he did the people of Africa. So
it had nothing to do with honor. It had everything to do with being a conqueror of that land.
Yeah, it's like a title, brother. They're telling you that you conquer a specific place,
okay,
and it's an honor.
so let's say
you're wrong.
So let's say you conquered the.
No, you're just making up.
What's your name?
You're just making.
What's your name, bro?
That's not his.
What's your name, bro?
This is
What's
Pharaoh.
your name, bro?
My name is Pharaoh. Pharaoh Mizrahi.
Okay, Pharaoh. Listen, Raheem. It's like you go and conquer the Compton swap meet, right? You would be Pharaoh, whatever swap meeticus, right? It was already the Compton swap meet before you conquered it. That's you derived your name from the land that was conquered. The land that was conquered was not named after you. You gained your name from, and the land Africa came from a free tribe, and then the suffix "ka," which means land in Latin. So it has something to do with. So it was a free land. That's where Africa came from. So when the Romans interacted with Africa, they interacted right over there on the coast, bro. Right on the coast of Morocco and all those places. They weren't going deep down into the southern part of Africa. So they named the land after the people that they encountered when they were there. Africa. Then Africanus came later. He was Publius Scipio, the conqueror of Africa. That's all that means. Julius Caesar was Julius Caesar, the conqueror of Germania. That's all that means. You're just flipping it around to fit your own, dare I say, ignorance.
No. I disagree with that. Okay? You gotta show some proof. No, you gotta prove that. Okay, because as far
all
as
you gotta do is pick
you're just making it up. No, you're just making that up. You're just making it up.
Pharaoh, Brandon is closer to the truth than you are, brother. And
no. You gotta prove that. You gotta prove that. What is the book and what is the source that says that the people in Africa were called the Afri?
There's a tribe. There's a tribe called the Afri tribe in Egypt, brother.
Huh?
Okay, look, bro. I just asked AI. Let's see what AI has to say about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let's see. Was Publius Scipio Africanus named after the continent of Africa, or was the continent of Africa named after Scipio Publius Africanus?
Were you asking me?
I'm asking.
It's asking the AI.
No, it's the
continent. You get an answer?
You're saying you got
the continent was named after the Scipio Africanus.
Okay, let me play. Listen, be quiet.
Scipio was named after the region, not the other way around.
There you go.
He took the name Africanus as a victory title after conquering Carthaginian forces in North Africa at the Battle of Zama, 202 BC. the naming
There you
timeline
go.
works.
That's
The
what we all
region.
been saying.
Okay, so
You're wrong, Pharaoh.
so you've been debunked by the white man. You've been debunked by the white man.
Pharaoh, just concede, brother. You're wrong. Brandon and others are right.
What's the source?
The black man has to learn how to admit he was wrong. Just like, bro, I was wrong.
Brandon, you want to talk about the Geechee brother, man? What do you think about our Geechee brother with the accent?
They literally have the Pharaoh, wait. They literally have the year. Wait, they have the year he took the name. He took the name Africanus as a victory title after conquering Carthaginian forces in North Africa at the Battle of Zama in 202 BC. The guy literally has the date in time when he said, "I've conquered Africa. Now I'm going to call myself Africanus." They have the records of that, bro. You can't argue with records.
Hey, check this out, brother. Ask AI, what was his name before Africanus? So to then this argument.
Let me
see that.
No, okay.
No.
So you're clearly listen. Wait. If you stop talking, listen, bro. Listen. Let me just say this, guys. Let me get this out. When Publius Cornelius Scipio defeated Hannibal and won the Second Punic War, the Roman Senate granted him the honorific title, also called an agnomen, Africanus, meaning the African or the conqueror of Africa. Originally, the Romans only called the northern coastal region Africa. Over centuries, as European cartographers mapped the globe, the name Africa expanded to describe the whole continent. So the continent had the name Africa because they came in contact with the Afri tribe. You know, Ka is the suffix for land in Latin, so they named it Africa, a free land. So then they talked about just the region where the free tribe was, and then later on it came to represent the whole region. He was literally given that name by the Roman Senate. So you can't say he had the name. He was given. This is fact. All you got a phone just like everyone else. That's why you coming off like a grifter. Google it, dude. Stop talking about somebody got to come back from the dead to tell you.
No.
Concede the point, Pharaoh. Everything he said is true. We all knew that.
That's not historical. Okay. No. Listen. Look. Okay, brother, I'll let you talk. Let me talk. Okay. Now here's a real source. Okay. No. But be quiet, man. Be quiet. Okay. You're very disrespectful.
Brandon, let me speak, Brandon. Let me speak.
Okay. Be quiet and let me talk. Okay. Look. Okay. Now here's a real source. Okay. It's coming from the historian named Seleucus. Have you ever heard of Seleucus? Seleucus was a Roman historian who lived during the time in 80 BCE. And in his book titled The War with Jugurtha, okay, book chapter 18, he says the original people of Africa were known as Libyans and Gutilians. So he's telling you that the original people of Africa, before they were called Africa, they were called Libyans. They were not called Africans. And that's how we know that Scipio Africanus gave the name Africa.
No, Africa is an extra name.
Hold on. Let me interject. Hold on, Pharaoh. Your source does not prove your point, what you just said.
Yes, it does, because
it's
a contemporary source. It's a contemporary source.
Doesn't.
It's being written
so tell me,
who lived during the time.
So why is this historian more qualified or believable than the actual Roman Senate? They kept records. The Romans kept detailed records, bro, of secession. They wrote about the Battle of Zama. Hannibal, the battle against Hannibal in the Second Punic War is one of the most talked about battles in the history of the world. And you're telling me that this guy who lived, he actually lived like 122 years after the battle took place. So you're not going to go by the records of the people who lived during the battle. You're going to, wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute. You're going to take the story of someone who lived 122 years later? You sound stupid. Like,
I think he's spread the entire continent. Why
Africa was an extra name for the Romans who called the land of the Africa.
80 BC. Guys,
Kill
for the
yourself.
sake of the audience, for the sake
You're
of
a
the audience,
dummy. No, you're a dummy.
80
You're
BC
dumb.
is
You're dumb.
122 years
You don't know what
after
you're talking about.
20.
No, you're
Listen,
not.
man.
You're making it
8
up. Kill
Dinus.
yourself.
Can I get
just
this
showed you my
backed out?
source. I just showed you
80
my source.
You
Where's that
guys are
source?
talking about two
Where's
different
the source?
things. The Roman Senate was talking about the region that was defeated, while the
Yes.
other guy was talking about how
Where's that? Where's the source?
during that time
Where's the
we're
source?
referring to African entire population. They were
Where's
calling
the
them
source?
Libyans, but while
Listen,
the Roman
man.
Senate was talking about the
We're
region
giving you the
that was
sources.
defeated,
No,
not the
you're just
entire
making it
Asia,
up.
Listen,
Africa.
you're taking. Listen, bro. Listen. This is
I
it.
quoted
Listen.
the source.
Listen.
I quoted the source word for word. Okay?
What you're
You're just
doing,
making up
what
lies.
you're doing,
You're just
Pharaoh.
making up
Hey,
lies.
hold on.
That-
Let me interject. Hey, Pharaoh, you're being super disingenuous and just
And
tripling
super
down on
rude.
being raw, man. Pharaoh, come
Boy,
on,
you
man.
on the chitlin circuit.
No, man, this guy's making
Pharaoh,
up stuff.
Pharaoh, you're
You
wrong.
don't know what the hell he's talking
Pharaoh, you're
about.
wrong. Pharaoh,
You
you're
don't know what
wrong.
he's talking about, man.
Pharaoh,
What
Pharaoh,
he's
you're wrong.
saying
You're
is-
wrong,
what
Pharaoh.
he's
Just
saying
admit
is
it, bro.
modern
You
day.
wrong.
Hey,
What
Pharaoh,
he's
you
saying
making
is
all the
modern day.
pharaohs. Hey,
No,
Pharaoh,
it's modern day.
Pharaoh, you must be one of them pharaohs from the who think the Mississippi River is the Nile River. So
Yeah.
you can't be.
No,
Egypt is in America, Dinus. Know that.
You can't. The Mississippi River is the Nile River. I mean, come
If
on,
we was
Pharaoh.
in front of him, he'd be trying to fight us right now. Hey,
No, this
you
dude-
took
no,
the.
this
You're
dude
trying to
Brandon-
use
no,
somebody.
Brandon, no,
You're
a
trying to
fraud,
use.
man.
But
You're
if
a
I can
fraud.
interject, but Pharaoh, the source you use doesn't prove your point. I mean, Pharaoh.
Yes, it
why?
does.
No, it
It's the
doesn't,
closest.
Pharaoh.
It's the source. It's the closest to the time.
Pharaoh, it
No, it's
doesn't prove
not.
your
That
point,
little
though. But it
That's why
doesn't prove your
Brandon. That's why
point,
Brandon.
Pharaoh.
Look.
Pharaoh, I mean,
That's why Brandon couldn't give you a date. He couldn't give you
You're.
a date. He
I
just made-
gave
he
you a
just made
date.
up something
202
from
BC.
imagination. No, you
They
couldn't.
gave.
What's
Listen,
the
they
date
gave
then?
him the name. They gave him the name in
source?
202 BC. You're using someone who lived
Made it up.
120. Bro, stop interrupting me. They
Pharaoh
gave
probably
him.
he
They
probably
gave.
think 80
Listen.
comes before 200. He doesn't know it goes backwards.
Listen, they gave him the name in 202 BC. The guy who you're quoting is not even talking about the when Africa was called Africa. He's just talking about the original people who lived there. He ain't said nothing about. Hold on, bro. He not said nothing about the name of the continent at all. And he lived 122 years after these events took place. Why would I listen to someone who lived 122 years later when I could listen to the people and read their records who lived literally in that time? Publius kept a journal. The Roman Senate kept a journal. There's detailed history about that period of time. You are in denial, my friend. And I ain't talking about the
That's
river.
that was a good one, Brandon. That was a good one, Brandon.
No. I'm gonna prove you don't know what you're talking about.
You can't prove anything.
Let him speak that, Brandon.
Do you do you know who was the first writer and the oldest writer to even write on the Punic War?
I don't know.
Was it Josephus?
Yes. The first writer to write, the oldest writer to write on the Punic War was a ancient Greek historian. His name was Polybius. Polybius.
Pharaoh, so Pharaoh, you're just going down a rabbit hole. So
yes,
and
according to Polybius,
I'm Pharaoh. The host is
Polybius,
talking. The host is talking. The host is talking. So Pharaoh, are you saying that Scipio Africanus was not named Africanus after defeating Hannibal at this battle of Zambia? That's what you're saying? That didn't happen?
No, I'm saying that he got the name Africanus, but he did not get it from the continent. The continent was called Libya.
No, it was not. He got it from the. Listen, the Roman Senate named him the. Listen,
Polybius, the first writer, he said the continent was called Libya.
Rome was the dominant empire. So what they said when the name that they call Africa is what Africa was called.
Why are you yelling, bro?
Go read some real history, bro. Go read some
You
real
just
history.
said all this.
You're just making up lies.
Listen, dude. Listen, man. Listen. The Roman Senate named him the Roman Senate named him the conqueror of Africa, bro. They named him
Libya.
Listen.
It was called Libya. It was not.
No, some people call it Libya, but the dominant empire was Rome. So what they said was
the Romans didn't call it
the
that.
factor name for it.
The Romans didn't call it. Listen, bro. It's like saying that your dad got his name from you. That's what you're trying to do. You're basically saying what came later got the name for. You're saying what came before got his name for something that came after. That's not possible. He got his name because Africa was the name of the land that he conquered.
Some real history, bro.
This guy's just—he's trolling. He's trolling at this point. You're trolling. You're trolling, bro.
Go learn some ancient Greek. Learn some ancient language.
You don't know ancient Greek.
You don't know what
You
you talk
don't know
about.
ancient
You don't know
Greek.
what you talk about.
You
You're
don't know
lying. No,
ancient
you're
Greek.
lying to the people.
Pharaoh, you
You're
got to take the
scamming
L,
the
brother.
people.
It's not
You
a
don't know
big
what
deal.
you're
You
talking
live to
about.
fight another day,
Go
man.
read Polybius. Go read Polybius.
Africa was not named
According
after
to Polybius, the
Publius
continent
You
was
go
called
Africanus.
read.
Libya.
It's the
You
other way
go.
It was
around.
Hey,
called
I'll
Libyans.
go
It was
read.
not called
Listen, let's make
Africans.
a
You
deal.
don't know
Let's
what you're
make a
talking
deal.
about.
Listen, I'll make a deal with you. I'll go read Polybius if you go read Hooked on Phonics.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God.
that's the best you got.
think the
Stupid.
guy is
That's the best
actually
you got.
correct. I don't
Stupid.
know
This
what
guy's trolling, bro.
the guy that is saying that they are Libyans is actually correct. I don't know whether anybody even bothered to check. The Romans were referring
No.
to a specific area in Africa, while the general designation of that region, some people refer to them as this is Libyans, others to Ethiopians. So technically, he is correct, and both sides are correct to an extent.
No, he's not correct. Tunajin, he's not. Okay, listen.
I am
Wait.
correct.
Okay, guys.
I am
I already got this
100%
pulled up.
correct.
Guys,
You're
I
not
already got this
correct.
pulled.
You're
Wait a
wrong.
minute,
Go read
Dinus.
some real
Dinus,
history.
for the sake of
No,
facts,
no,
I already got this pulled up. It's
You're a
act-
novice. You're a novice.
Listen,
Okay, you are a
listen,
novice. You're
Dinus.
a
I
novice.
already
You're not a
have. If
historian.
I'm a
You don't
novice,
Hold
know
on,
let me
what
guys.
say
you
what
One
I'm
at
don't
a
know some
saying.
time.
real history. You don't know
If
what
I'm a
you're talking
novice,
about.
let me
You're a
say what I
novice.
gotta say. If I'm a novice, let me say what I gotta say. I already have this pulled up in AI. It says where the Africa name came from. Long before Scipio fought there, the Romans used the word Africa to refer to the land territory controlled by Carthage, roughly modern day Tunisia and coastal Libya. The name also originated from the
There you go.
Afri, a local. Wait a minute, dude. The name also
Libya.
the name also. Bro, let me finish, bro. Why you gotta be interrupting me? The name also originated from the Afri, a coastal Berber-speaking tribe living near Carthage. The Romans simply took the tribal name and added the suffix "ka" to mean land to the Afri. It was literally named after the Afri tribe, and that's why they called it Africa, a free land. You're wrong,
No, you're wrong.
100%.
You're wrong.
This was
Okay,
100
because
years before
first
Pharaoh,
of all,
you're
Publius was
right
even
about
born.
Libya.
first of all,
But
This
first of
is
those
all,
are
before
different
Publius was
people
even
who
born.
refer
do
to
not prove that the
Africa as
people were called
Libya, right? They
Africans.
refer to that
Okay,
landmass as Libya, but that's different
no.
people.
First of
What
all,
really matters is what the
did not
Romans
prove
call
that
them,
the
because
people
the
were
Romans
called
was
Man,
the
Africans.
Hannibal is
dominant
black.
empire.
He did not prove that the people called
They
Afri.
did, they did.
And even if look, and even if the people were called Afri, it doesn't matter because the continent was called Libya.
How long before?
Who
Hey, hold
said,
up.
who made that standard, Pharaoh?
He's
Who
lying.
made the
He's
standard?
lying. He's lying. Listen, I'm gonna ask AI how long was Africa called Africa before Publius? Hey, bro,
Ask
stop
AI.
interrupting, bro. Bro, just because someone
Ask
doesn't
AI.
agree with you,
What was the
bro,
name?
just because
What was the
someone
name
doesn't
of?
agree with you doesn't give you the right to
What
interrupt
was the
them, bro.
name of
Shut
Africa
up.
before it was called
Shut
Africa?
up, bro.
What was the name of
You just
Africa
don't want
before
to
it was
hear the
called
truth.
Africa?
The
Ask AI that.
Egyptians called it
Ask
Libya.
AI what was the name of
The
Africa
Greek,
Why
the
before it was
you,
called
Greeks,
why
the
you
Africa?
Greeks
listen,
call
What
it
listen.
was the name of
Ethiopia. The
Africa before
Romans
it was
call it
called Africa?
We
Africa.
have,
Ask AI
listen,
that
bro.
because you're gonna
We
Dominant
disprove
have
it.
empires
this.
You
call
don't
it
know what
different
you're
Listen,
talking
names.
about.
we
You
have
don't know what
this
you're
guy
talking
on
about.
the. We have this guy on the intellectual ropes, and you guys just keep diving back into his stupidity. This guy ain't got a pot to piss in and a leg to
No.
stand on,
Ask
but y'all keep
AI
on giving him
what
a
was
cane,
the name of
dude.
Africa
You
before
no.
it was
I'm gonna
called
ask
Africa. Ask
AI.
AI that.
I will
Ask
ask
AI that.
AI that. Listen, if you shut up, I
What was
will ask
Africa
AI.
before it was
Bro,
called
you gotta
Africa?
stop talking. I'm gonna ask AI my question, then I'm gonna ask AI your question.
Go ahead.
How long before Publius Scipio Africanus was born was the continent of Africa called Africa?
The short answer: at least 20 to 30 years before Publius Scipio Africanus was born, the Romans were already calling that specific region of North Africa, Africa, or Terra Africa.
You're wrong.
The exact breakdown.
So you're
1.
wrong, bro. They were
The
calling
time.
that Africa 30 years before this boy was
Yeah,
even born.
Libya was from the Greeks, right? They called it
What's
Libya
the
based
source
on the
for that?
Okay,
Libu
now let me
tribe.
ask this question. Let
What's
me
the
ask
source
his
for that?
question. Wait a minute. Let me
Go ahead.
ask your
Go ahead.
question. Be quiet. Be quiet. I'll ask your question. What was Africa called before it was called Africa?
There is no single ancient, universally accepted name for the entire continent of Africa. In ancient times, vast geographical masses were rarely referred to by a single unified name by their inhabitants. Instead, distinct regions, kingdoms, and civilizations had their own specific names. The names historically used to describe the land and how the continent's naming evolved include 1. Indigenous and regional names. Before the idea of a single continent existed, various indigenous civilizations named their respective territories, Kemet, or KMT, the ancient Egyptian name for their land, meaning black land, referring to the rich, fertile soil along the Nile River, Kush, or Taseti, used by ancient Nubian and neighboring civilizations in the region of modern-day Sudan. Punt, referred to by ancient Egyptians as a legendary trading land, likely located around modern-day Somalia, Djibouti, and Eritrea, Al-Kebulin, frequently cited in popular history and Afrocentric scholarship as an ancient native name for the landmass. It is often translated to mean Mother of Mankind, or Garden of Eden. Scholars note that the term likely gained wider usage through historical Afrocentric tradition, such as the writings of Senegalese historian Dr. Cheikh Anta Diop. 2. External names used by Mediterranean neighbors. Nearby Mediterranean civilizations called parts or all of the landmass by different terms. Origin, name used.
Okay, so you're an idiot. There's no.
It didn't answer the question. It didn't
Yes,
answer the question.
yes, it did. It told you. What was it called? What was it called before?
Ask the AI, Brandon, ask the AI who called Africa Libya. It will tell you it was the Greeks.
We already know it was the Greeks. We already know it was the Greeks. Look, Kemet, it was called Kemet, Kush, Punt, and Al-Bulan. The only people who called it Libya were the Greeks specifically.
Egypt was called Kemet and Kush. The whole continent.
Listen,
the
bro.
whole continent was not called Kemet.
The Greeks called
the name Libya became obsolete when the Greece Empire fell and the Roman Empire took over. They have the name right.
Elvis, wait a minute. We're gonna ask AI a question. We're gonna ask what did the Greeks? We're gonna call. If you stop talking, we're gonna ask what did the Greeks. We're gonna ask the Greeks. We're gonna ask what did the Greeks call Africa, and what was it? What was the region that it referred to? What did the Greeks call Africa, and what region of Africa did it refer to?
Yeah. It's gonna lie like you.
Hold on, here it comes.
The ancient Greeks primarily used two names to describe the landmass south of the Mediterranean, Libya and Ethiopia. 1. Libya, lambda iota beta acute upsilon eta / Libby, the region it referred to. Originally, Libya referred specifically to North Africa west of the Nile River, excluding Egypt. Over time, as Greek geographical understanding expanded, the term came to designate the entire continent as far south as they knew it existed. Origins. Name comes from the Libu, or Rebu, a coalition of Berber tribes who inhabited the coastal region west of Egypt, modern-day eastern Libya and northwestern Egypt. Ancient Greek historians like Herodotus treated Libya as one of the three known continents of the world, alongside Europe and Asia. 2. Ethiopia, alpha iota theta iota map, RMO pi acute iota alpha, / Ethiopia, the region it referred to. The vast regions south of the Sahara Desert and south of Egypt, encompassing modern-day Sudan, South Sudan, Ethiopia, Eritrea, and the Horn of Africa. Origins. Derived from the Greek words aetho, I burn, and ops, face, translating roughly to land of the burnt-faced people. In Greek literature, including Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, it was used as a broad geographic and ethnographic term.
You can cut it short.
So here's the point that is proved. The Greeks called Africa Libya, which we already knew that. That name also derived from an African tribe. The Romans called Africa Africa, but that name too derived from an African tribe. So Africa, the name, did not originate with white folks at all. It just told you. So your whole life is a lie up until this moment. You need to make a new life.
You've been living a lie all your life.
You might as well go jump off something.
I mean, let's not do that, man. We don't gotta argue with each other. The point is,
he's totally wrong. His whole premise
I agree with you. He's wrong, Brandon. But let's
listen. His whole premise, Pharaoh. Listen, Pharaoh. Their whole premise is that Africa was named after a white man. AI has already debunked you. I have debunked you. So that is historically inaccurate. What you're saying is historically inaccurate.
All you did was made up facts.
The term Africa originated with a Berber tribe. Yeah, look, dude, whatever. You could say whatever you want. Clearly, you don't know how AI works. AI examines all the sources. Listen, bro,
you lost.
you're
You
wrong.
lost.
Dinus,
Take
can
the
I have my
L.
turn now?
Take the
Pharaoh,
L,
you gotta
fat
take the
boy.
L, man.
Take the L,
Brandon was
fat
right.
boy.
You lost, dude.
You got the
Hey,
floor,
can I have
Brandon.
my
Go
turn
ahead.
now?
No, you're a dummy. You're a dummy, and
Okay,
you're a
cool,
novice.
man.
And
That's cool, man. That's
you need to
cool.
go hit
Pharaoh, pass the mic,
go
brother.
hit
It's
the history
cool.
books, bro. Go hit the
Pharaoh,
history books. You don't know what you're talking about.
Pharaoh, do you wear a Air Marshal vest in the house when you at home? You like
Brandon,
one of those slow
Brandon,
kids.
just make your point, bro. Leave that.
Okay,
You're
so the
dumb.
point.
You don't know what you're
So
talking
what?
about.
Listen. So before I start talking to ignorant to this dude, um, this stuff is all just a con, right?
You
This
lost,
whole
man.
thing, the whole thing.
Just admit it, bro. Libya was called the Africa was called Libya before it was called Africa. That's all you gotta say, man. Why you
Yeah,
arguing for,
by an
man?
obsolete empire that fell. The Greeks fell, the Romans came in, and they were the dominant empire. So that's all that
Okay,
matters.
let me finish. Either way, his point is the whole point he's making is that Africa was named after a white man. We've already debunked that. So now he's trying to move the goalpost to something else. But we're not dumb, bro. We know that you've been hanging on that for years, and now it's been debunked. Africa didn't come for no
It
white
hasn't
guy.
been debunked. It
Anyway,
hasn't been debunked. It
let me
hasn't
get
been
to my
debunked
point.
because
It's my turn.
know why? Because you
It's
showed no
not.
source.
It's my
You
turn.
showed no source. Okay.
It's my turn.
Source up
It's
or shut
my
up.
turn.
Source up
It's
or
my
shut up.
turn.
Source up
It's
or
my
shut up.
turn.
You
It's
don't know
my
what you're
turn.
talking about.
All right, it's my turn.
No, everything you
So,
said was based on
Pharaoh,
imagination.
you
It was
gotta let
not
him
based
speak,
on this
brother. Let's
so
not do that,
anyway,
you
man.
don't know what you're talking about.
so the whole Indian stuff, right? It's really just a scam, right? And what people don't understand and what they don't grasp is when you look at the people who push this nonsense, they operate the same exact way as a scam artist, right? They create a sense of urgency and fear. Oh my God, they trying to take what's yours. These people are coming trying to replace you, right? Then they try to establish
Go ahead, man.
authority and trust. They try to establish authority and trust. Man, we got the data. We're logging. We're recording everything. We're making a paper trail so that all of the grievances and the offenses against us will be recorded. Oh, we're putting this in the lexicon, kind of like the way Tariq Nasheed does, uses authoritative speech to make you trust him and think he has some type of information or access you
Okay,
don't have.
hey, bro.
But the primary driver, but the primary driver of this scam is greed. Bro, are you really this slow, bro? You can't sit still for a second and let me finish? Okay, so the primary driver of all this is greed and hope.
Hurry up, man. You're long-winded.
What they do, what con artists do is they offer people a high reward for low effort or investment. That plays into people's financial distress. So when you look at the Indians and stuff and the FBAs and stuff, what is the hope what are they, how are they preying on greed and what is the hope they're offering? Well, look, if you call yourself FBA, if you call yourself Indian, you will receive a large payout from the American government for virtually doing nothing at all. So they know a lot of black folks don't got money. A lot of black folks are bad with money. A lot of black folks don't have like good retirement programs, all that plans and stuff like that. So they just prey on that. When you look at the forensics of this situation, it breaks down to it breaks down just like any other con game.
Yes. Okay.
Promising you stuff they can never deliver, making you believe that they have access to information you don't have, and basically telling you it's low risk, high reward. What do you got to do? Just keep getting on the internet screaming at you, FBA. What are you going to gain? You're going to gain $15 trillion from the American government. It will always work. It's a numbers game, right? It's a numbers game. If you go out and you reach 100,000 people, right? Even if you get like 1% of those people, you still got 100 people. So they're going to fail more than they're going to succeed. But even with the little success they have, it's going to generate a lot of revenue for them. The people getting scammed are never going to actually see anything. It's the same thing Dane Calloway doing. It's the same thing Tariq Nasheed is doing. It's the same thing Umar Johnson is doing. They are literally just playing a con artist numbers game. And if they talk to 100 people and they get one person, they win because every one person represents thousands of dollars that they're going to bring in. And if they get 10 people, they can make $100,000 in a year off of just those people getting scammed and getting conned. So there's nothing benefiting them from being FBA or Indian. And let me just say this last point. Ask any of these people what they have gained. Ask Pharaoh, what has his newfound identity gained him in the last 5 to 10 years he's been believing in it and been running his mouth about it? And the answer will be absolutely nothing.
Okay. Now. Okay, now.
No. You go to speech therapy class.
Hold on, brother. We can.
You sounding like an engine that won't start.
Hold on, brother. I just let you talk for like minutes, bro. Look.
Bleep, that's all, folks.
No. Look, listen. We can put an end to this right now. Okay. Now, according to Herodotus,
here we go.
The continent, according to Herodotus in 450
spell BC, Herodotus.
Spell it. Herodotus. HCRO.
No, Pharaoh, don't fall into the trap, bro. Brandon, stop doing that, man.
He's trying to read it off the paper and still can spell it.
I'll let you talk, man. I'll let you talk, man.
I'm being like you. I'm acting ignorant like how you acting.
Brandon, come on, man. Show him some grace, man. Come on,
man. Bro, stop acting like a kid, man. Act like a man, bro. We grown man up here. Okay, now. Okay,
a man tell the truth.
We can put an end to this right now. Okay, now my claim is Herodotus was the first to give the continent the name Libya, and he lived in 450 BCE. So if you're saying that the continent was called Africa before it was called Libya, or was never called Libya, then I want to see a source from you dated before 450 BCE saying that the continent was called Africa.
It never said it wasn't called Libya.
It was called Libya, but the Greeks, the Greek Empire fell. And as such, the new empire gave it its name. So if you,
even the name Libya came from an African Berber.
There you go. I'm done. You lost, man. You don't know.
Okay, are you done? If you're done,
that's not what the argument was about, Pharaoh. You said that the name Africa came from Afrikaners, when in fact Afrikaners got its name from Africa.
That was the whole argument. And you lost.
No. No, I asked you to show me.
No, you just lied. I realized something about you. When you lie, you stutter.
You couldn't show it, and you agreed with me, so you lost.
I didn't agree with you. Yeah. Listen, whatever you want to tell yourself, whatever you want to tell yourself, buddy.
Bro, you got checkmated. He checkmated you.
Hey, bro, brother, I want to ask you: Are you from Liverpool? You got a Scouse accent.
You would be my bitch right now.
Yes,
I got you.
You from Liverpool?
Yeah, I like you, and
I heard that Scouse accent. I heard you on another show the other day.
Dude, I was like the booty warrior on you in this debate. You got cooked, bro.
So you got some sugar in your
Brandon,
tank.
Pause, man. You talking about a bunch of
sugar in your tank, huh?
You got some sugar too now.
Hey, that's why they call it. That's why they call him Bucci Bear, man. You know.
You got some sugar in your tank now too.
Get out of here, faggot.
Come on, man. Relax, man. Brandon, chill out, man.
This dude got man. He got. I know you mad because you lost.
You grown man. You acting like a stupid little boy. That's what you is.
This man is so angry. Just take your L, son. I son you, son.
Yeah. You a whole bitch nigga. That's what you is.
Dang,
bro. Pharaoh. You gotta watch the language.
Hey, Pharaoh.
I hope you know how to box. I hope you know how to box. But if you ever talk to me like
Pharaoh. That's a terror. That's a terror.
You rage baited him, Brandon. That's unfair, man.
I'm gonna go walking in the moonlight with you.
This the host talking.
No, this dude a punk, man.
Pharaoh, that's a terror. That's a terror.
You wanna hold my hand?
That's a terror. That's a terror. You gotta pay your terror.
Come out of here, man. Fuck this dude, man. He a faggot.
you rage baited him, Brandon. Come on, man. Don't do that.
I'm gonna go walking in the moonlight with you,
man. Brandon is an annoying asshole, man. Don't listen to him.
I'm a master troll, dude. I was trying to approach this man with understanding, you know what I'm saying, and compromise. But bro just kept stuttering and lying. So I had to just get down to his level and start with the childlike insults, man. Some of these dudes, you just got to meet them where they at, bro. But bro, I don't know why black folks love holding on to lies so much, bro. We'll pinch our teeth on a lie and will not let it go like a ravenous pit bull, dude. And it doesn't benefit us at all.
Yep.
FBA, pretending it doesn't benefit you. Oh, a white man, they named Africa after a white man. How do you benefit from these lies you tell? And I could see if it was getting you off on a life or death sentence, or you was getting paid to do it like Tariq or something.
Hey, Dinus.
Let me pay Pharaoh's tax real quick, man. I think
You got to hold on. You got to do it via Zelle, Elvis, or Venmo.
I want to use my Cash App account real quick, Don. Can I do Cash App?
I don't. I guess I was getting too many Cash Apps and stuff. They didn't shut the Cash App down.
Oh shit, man.
Hit the Cash App family. Hit the Cash App. You Umar Johnson now.
Yeah, they didn't shut the Cash App down, man. They didn't shut it down. Ain't no Cash App. So you got to do Zelle or Venmo.
Dude, I got 100,000 on Cash App this year, and they didn't shut me down.
You got 100,000 Cash App.
Yeah,
must be nice.
Shit, I'm out here grinding, bro. I'm out here cooking with butter, bro.
Here, that's the Zelle, or you gotta do the Zelle, or you gotta do
hit the Zelle, Elvis.
Elvis
said I'm a
you got Venmo.
I got Venmo. Maybe I could send a little more than the usual to compensate for it, because my other account is tied to my cash. Oh, you say you can't even give money through Cash App, but I can. Can I send it through YouTube thing then?
Have you listened to anything this man been said for the past 5 minutes?
No, forget this. Forget the Cash App. I'm saying, can I just send it through the YouTube Super
Chat?
Chat?
Go ahead, Super Chat. Go ahead.
All right, let me send it through YouTube.
You Africans are slow, dude.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Pharaoh, man. Brandon, you raised better the bro, man. And he's a cool dude. Let me send it through.
Hey, bro, listen. If they say I'm gonna go walk in the moonlight with you on Django, he laugh. He think it's funny. But if I say the same exact thing, oh, I'm this and that, and I'm gay. People are so ridiculous, bro. I stole that line from Django, but we just can't help ourselves. Lord, forgive us, for we know not what we do, dude. These dudes was right. They all crack babies mostly. But somebody said Africa is still a toilet. What is Black America, bro? Hey, man, look. Just tell me what has being a pretendian benefited you. How have you benefited from that since you've been claiming it? Black people just, hey, Bloods and Crips getting played out, so black people have to find different ways to divide themselves up, man. Gang banging is dying, so the new tribes have to be formed among Black America. Hello? Are we still on?
Yeah, we're still on.
What? Everybody ran out of stuff to say. These people only want to talk when they interrupting somebody. I realize that if you ain't talking, they quiet as hell. But Dinus,
yo,
I can't. I really can't believe the pretendian stuff lasted this long. Like, people have given almost a decade of their life to this nonsense, ain't benefited from it, can't tell you how they're gonna benefit from it. Real Indians is buying up stuff. The what are they called? The what are they called over there in Florida? The what are they called? The ones over there, not the Choctaw. What are they called? Oh my God. The Seminole. The Seminole tribe is buying up all types of hotels, building hotels all over. They're gonna build a Hard Rock hotel right here in Long Beach.
All right, Donnie. So I'll send you 15 for Pharaoh. Just
I
a little more.
I got it. We're good.
Yeah, Brandon, that was unfair, man. You raised better, bro, man. That was unfair to him.
Listen, bro. The real Indians is buying up real estate. The fake Indians out here on the internet thinking that they claiming internet real estate. Tariq them and Dane them about to retire. What y'all gonna do when they gone? Y'all gonna find a new crop of idiots to follow for the next 30 years of your life? Black folks gotta get serious, man. We just a bunch of political chumps, just like Malcolm X said. Whatever battery somebody put in our back, we gonna just go out here and spread they damn message.
I was wondering if you heard the other brother that was talking that said he's Gullah Geechee, but he has a Caribbean accent. I don't. Maybe I'll be unfair to people when I hear that accent. I don't know.
Those Gullah Geechee people do have like a somewhat Caribbean accent.
Yeah, I haven't heard him speak. We know Kwame Brown, we know Michael Jordan, they're Gullah Geechees, but I don't hear that accent.
Somebody said it's about the truth. You have the truth already. When you're in denial, you could hear the truth a million times and you'll never accept it. You really think your ass is an Indian, but don't do no part of Indian culture. None. Bro, they have the Native American Festival down here in Long Beach every year, Diners. Go down there. It ain't a single black person. And Long Beach is one of the blackest cities in California. There is not a single black person down there.
Well, Brandon, would you rather be an African American or a Native American in this current dispensation?
I would rather be African American. Native Americans have zero political leverage in this country.
Right.
Native Americans aren't even counted when they talk about voting. They're that their numbers are that small.
Right.
Like it's like a rat, a mouse. It's like a cat saying, "You know what? I'm really a mouse." It has no benefit. You're lowering your station. Like you couldn't name one prominent Native American figure within politics.
Oh, but not in politics, but you got Lou Diamond Phillips, the actor. I think he's
No, we ain't
married.
talking about that dude. We talking about someone politically. Name one Native American politically that's doing anything. Indian tribes are giving their money to white people for political leverage.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know why they're riding that way.
Because what did Malcolm X say? He talked about how we gonna be so confused if we stayed on this path. We are literally fighting to get to the bottom, Dinus. And Dinus, can I tell you the fact that I learned today when I was when I was talking about the Nolan Wells situation in Mississippi? I found out that in Mississippi, black women account for 80% of the abortions in the state of Mississippi. These people want to go to war over one little coke addict dying.
Oh, come on, Brandon, man. Damn.
Let me finish, bro.
You think it was his fault that he died?
Hey, be quiet. I didn't say it was his fault. I'm saying, why is the life of
Brandon, let's be respectful, man. Come on.
Okay, one alleged coke addict. Okay, he's not here. So you're telling me one life of a grown man who made a bad decision is enough for us to get up and go crazy? But
it is, Brandon. Let me tell you why. 1 second.
No, wait. But 80% of the abortions in the state of Mississippi are performed by black women. That means they are out aborting every other racial demographic in that state, bro. Combined.
Right. Abortion is not murder, right? By law.
I'm not saying, well,
so let me make the point, Brandon. 1 second. This is like the third time.
You can't tell me you value life if you're not mad about that.
You've been speaking. Let me get a chance. We've seen, I think this is the third time where we've seen a black kid with some white, even it happened to a Liberian kid who in North Dakota went on a swimming trip to the beach with his white friends and they let him drown. And they were all strong swimmers and they didn't go to help him and he drowned. So it's the pattern of black kids being friends with a lot of white kids and some suspicious situation happened and the black kid is the only person that died in the group.
This man is not a kid. This is a grown man who made a decision to go to that island with the white folks.
Black people being with white people, they die mysteriously.
Bro, I live around a bunch of white folks.
That black woman who had a sleepover with her white co-worker friends. They said she fell off a balcony and she died suspiciously. So it's been happening, Brandon.
I live around a bunch of white folks. If they say, and I live 2 blocks from the beach, if they say, Brandon, let's go out in the water tonight and go skinny dip, I'm not going. At a certain point, there has to be some personal accountability, situational awareness. When I look at situations like Nolan Wells, the brother lacks situational awareness. And us getting up, going crazy, going off, ain't going to bring him back. What we can do, though, is stop the assassination of hundreds of thousands of black fetuses in that very state. You cannot you cannot honestly tell me you value the life of Nolan Wells, but you don't value the life of all those innocent babies.
Is the life of a zygote worth more than a 28-year-old, 27-year-old man?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, see? That's a fully living, breathing.
Because we don't know what that zygote could become.
But a zygote is not forming into a human being yet. That man
you
was
don't
a
know
human
what you're talking about. A zygote is a human being at the early stages of development.
As a human being, do you need your mother for you to breathe, Brandon?
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, when you're in the womb.
You're independent human being that breathes and lives on his own. You're not attached to another human being.
So what you're saying, Elvis, is that when the baby is in the womb, it's a different species.
No, a baby is
That's
a
exactly what you're
baby.
saying.
Hold on. A baby is a human being when it's birthed out of
In the
his
story,
mother's.
didn't you?
And you
So
get
the
listen, Brandon. You come on, bro. Let's not do that. You get a social security card. You get a name because you're not detached from your mother. If you live in your mother and your mother's die, you die. Right? If your
bro,
mother
if I
doesn't, that's what I'm saying. You're attached to
Elvis,
another person.
Elvis, if
A
I
human
attack a
being is an
pregnant lady,
independent person.
if I attack a pregnant lady and she loses her baby due to the attack, I will be charged with murder. That is a fact.
That's a law. But what is a human? What is a human being? Is a
That's the law is based on reality, Elvis.
when does a baby get a social security number? In his
The
mother's womb or when he's born?
A social security number don't make you human. It's a lot of
That's an
illegals over here without
identification
no social
card.
security number. You should know about that.
You're not classified as a human being when you're in your mother's
So
stomach
illegal
by the
immigrants.
government.
So listen. So illegal immigrants aren't human beings because they don't got a social security number.
No, we're talking about birth, right?
Man, I am cooking you guys
We're
today.
talking
You
about
guys are
birth.
getting dumber.
That's what we're talking about, birth.
Listen, bro. A zygote, a fetus, is a human at early stages of development. Yes, it depends on its mother.
How, Brandon?
Because the minute it's conceived, it is a human being in
Okay.
development.
See that there you go.
That's what it is. Okay, yes, it's in development. Like a chicken and an egg is a chicken in development.
Is an egg a chicken, Brandon?
Yes, it is in development.
Okay.
It's a
All right.
developing
Okay.
chicken.
Okay.
Okay,
Egg is
so
not
here
a
we go.
chicken.
An egg is a chicken. There's a
An
chicken
egg is
inside
not a
the egg.
chicken.
There's a baby
That's
chicken
why it's called
inside
an
the egg.
egg.
Listen, bro. The egg is a chicken. There is a chicken inside of the shell of the egg.
Can you eat a chicken wing from an egg, Brandon?
You can eat a whole chicken from an egg.
No, you
Wings,
can't.
breast, thighs, and all that.
No, you
Yes,
can't. Stop it, man. You
that
bullshitting now.
is a question.
You don't hear the chicken crowing. You don't hear the chicken, walking around when it's in the egg. It's not a chicken yet.
Listen, it will one day crow once it is fully
Yeah, but
developed.
it's not yet. That's the point. It may one
Listen,
day
bro.
become, but it's not yet.
I work with people who have developmental disability, meaning they develop slower than other people. They are still people. They are still humans. Their
Yeah, they're
lives
fully
still
formed
matter.
human beings. Yeah, they have
Baby,
nose,
listen.
they have mouth. They're not living and being fed by the fallopian tube of their mother.
You remember when you had your kids? You remember when they did the ultrasound, Elvis?
Yeah, but I do that with the baby.
Wait,
Wasn't
let me
fully
finish.
formed.
Let me finish. Remember when they held it and they said, "Oh, that's the baby's heartbeat right there." You remember when they said that?
Say that again. You're breaking in.
Remember when you heard that pounding, like,
Yeah.
and the lady told you that what was that? What was that pounding you heard when
That's
you
a
listened to the
heartbeat. That's a
ultrasound?
heartbeat. We know, Brandon. Yeah, but it's not. It's
So
not
it
a
has
human
a
being yet. It's not a fully formed human being.
Listen,
Come on,
it
man.
don't got to be fully formed. It's still alive. The heart is beating. The heart is beating.
So if you take it out of the mother at that time, will they survive as a human being?
It depends on the stage of development. It depends on the stage of development.
Come on, Brandon. Let's not do that.
If the baby is past 6 months, it will survive. But what I'm telling you is,
That's why I say a zygote is not a human being.
You are placing the
Zygote is
value
not
of
6 months.
Listen, you are placing the value of life on which stage of development. That's not, you're wrong for doing that. A baby is alive, dude. When it looked like a little seed in the womb, it still has a heartbeat, bro. It's moving rapidly because it's growing. It's developing. If you cut the growth, you killed it. If you step on a plant and kill it, you killed that living organism. This is a living thing. This is a living human.
No, you're saying it's a living thing. You take the living thing as a zygote.
It's a living human.
Hold on. Let's say 2 months out of his mother womb and put it on the table. Would it still survive?
That has nothing to do with it.
No, that's telling you the mother is the thing that's giving that.
So if I took you and jettisoned you into outer space, would you survive?
By itself, it's not alive. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So that means human beings aren't alive, period, because we need a certain atmosphere, we need a certain setting for us to survive. So none of us are alive. None of our lives mean anything.
No, you're being silly now, bro.
So you're not human because you're only human based on whether you have a social security card and whether or not you can survive outside of the womb.
The social security card is given to a person, a fully fledged human being when they're born.
You sound crazy. You sounded like an immigrant right now.
Whatever you say, Brandon. Your mind has been robbed by too much mega stuff, man.
No, bro, you're a black man talking about a fetus is not a human. Your mind has been
No, there's
rotted.
two different things. There's zygotes, there's fetus,
They're
right? It's
all
different.
humans. Zygote and fetus are all humans at different stages
Show
of
me a
development.
zygote. Show me a zygote that's living amongst us right now. We call him a human being. Show me one.
I can show you someone's belly.
Are they part of the human population?
We can literally show you a zygote through an ultrasound.
Are they part of the human population? Are they counted as a living human being on this earth?
If I knock the mother over and the zygote die, I'm going to jail.
They're only counted as a living human being when they're born. That's the difference. Why don't you understand that?
Listen, man. Look.
All right, man. I'm going to drop off, man. You just want to
wait. Let me tell you this. Wait, let me say this real quick. Let me say this. How long does a human being stay in the zygote phase?
We say a human being. A zygote is not a human being. That's a full question.
How long does a human being stay in the zygote phase?
A human being don't stay in the zygote phase. A human being, when they're born, a baby is a human being. When they're born out of his mother, that's a human being.
No. How long
Why do you think it's called a zygote and not a human being?
How long is the zygote? How long does the human baby how long does the organism stay in the zygote?
Oh, there you go. Now you're talking a human. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a biologist, but I'll say maybe 3 months. Maybe 3 months.
So a human zygote. Looking at AI.
It's not a human zygote.
Wait a minute, bro. Okay, but I just looked this up on AI. Listen, bro. I just looked this up on AI. It says a human zygote.
No, I'm going to search it.
Listen.
Ask the question: is a zygote a human being?
Listen, bro.
That's the question you should.
Listen. It says. Listen. I'll read it. Then I ask the question. It says a human zygote stage only lasts 24 to 36 hours. So you arguing about zygotes? A human being only stays a zygote for like 3 days. So anything after that, the baby is no longer a zygote. So you just lost, dude.
Is a human being a single cell organism?
Listen, man.
That's what a zygote is, Brandon. It's a single cell organism. Are you a single cell organism, Brandon?
I was a single cell organism at one point.
That's not who you are.
But that was who I
am. That means it's all of you that is encompassing all of you. Your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your brain. A single cell organism is not a human being. You got to understand that.
Let me ask you a question. Is who you were?
Is a tadpole a frog, Brandon? Is a tadpole a frog?
It's the baby frog.
It's not a frog.
A tadpole is a baby frog.
No, it's not. It doesn't have the legs to jump.
Listen,
it doesn't have the body, the arms. It doesn't have that. That's what makes a frog. It's not.
Tadpoles do have legs.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the legs that a frog has.
You mean the legs have not grown yet?
It's not a frog. When you said something is a frog, it's not a little It's not a little tadpole.
So Elvis, do you like your life? At what stage of life do you feel like if you would have died, you would have been okay with it?
I don't know. Whenever God, calls me. What do you mean? At what stage of life?
You're arguing that this isn't life, but what I'm telling you is
telling you
a human zygote only lasts in that stage for 2 to 3 days, bro. So even if your argument was correct,
that's what I looked it up too. While you was talking, I was in the back looking it up. It's a single cell organism.
But we only stay in that form.
No human being is a single cell organism.
Listen, but we only stay in that form for 2 to 3 days. So if you get an abortion anytime after that, it's no longer a zygote, which was your whole argument.
No, my point is a zygote is not a human being, and you said it was.
But we only stay zygote 2 to 3 days.
That's the point that I made. Is a zygote a human being, Brandon?
Listen. So we go through zygote phase before our mothers even know they're
human being.
Listen, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You see that? That's where you're wrong. Human beings are not single cell organisms.
But what I'm telling you is,
zygote is.
Listen, Elvis, it doesn't matter because you start and finish your zygote stage before your mother even knows she's pregnant. No one is getting an abortion.
You said life begins at conception. That's what I'm saying. A zygote is not life. It's a single cell organism.
Listen, a zygote
it hasn't formed a brain yet.
Listen, bro. If it wasn't alive, it can't grow. Something that
makes you a human being, Brandon. Because you have a brain, you have a conscience, you have a physical developed body. That's what makes you a human being.
Bro. If
not
something
a sperm and an egg.
If something is not alive, it cannot grow. If something is alive, it cannot grow. Are you telling me that something that is not alive can grow?
When you said that's what I'm saying. What do you mean alive?
Anything. Nothing can grow if it's not living.
Do you know that your sperm is alive?
I know that. I
Is it a
shot
human?
plenty
Is
of
it a
it all
human
over
being?
people's
Is it a
faces.
human being? Is your sperm a human being when it swims to the egg? Is it a human being because it's
It has
alive?
the potential to become a human being. It's a seed.
Yeah, but you don't count it as a human
And it
being
is
because it's
alive.
quote unquote alive.
You do know your sperm is alive because you could freeze your sperm and unfreeze it and it
That's what I'm
starts to
saying.
live
But you
again.
don't look at a sperm and say that's a human being. You got to protect that sperm at all costs.
Got it like that. I say don't let it hit the ground, baby.
Okay, bro. All right, bro. I'm out, man. You crazy.
I'm just telling you the truth, bro.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go in the closer. I gotta get up early in the morning.
Dinus, one last thing. I asked AI, is a zygote human? It says a zygote can be human, but the term itself applies to all sexually reproducing organisms, including animals, plants, and fungi. So, yes, it's a human being. It applies to any living thing that can sexually reproduce. You're wrong. You lost, Elvis, for the millionth time. Thank you.
All right, let me read the last super chat. JC Inc. Thank you for 499. Holla. Culturally, Japanese, Vietnamese, and are different. English, Spanish, and Swedish are different. Somalis, Congolese, Beninese, and Black Americans are different. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining. Like, share, subscribe. To next time, Family Dynasty. Peace.